All right, Kill Team fans, here we are for another day of the Transatlantic Open, the final day of the Transatlantic Open, brought to you by Command Point Data Team here on Tabletop Simulator. This is the grand finals, going to be between Micromancer and Dangerfro. Along with me today, I have Command Point Shane, Command Point Ryan, and we will be joined at some point by Beer in It as well. So, yeah, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling, Shane?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm ready to commentate this series. I wasn't able to commentate the last series, and I love commentating. Commentary is one of my favorites. Really excited to see how this goes down.
Yeah, glad to have you here with us. Very exciting stuff. A best of three today, which is not something we've had in this tournament. It is something we played around with in the grand finals of the last tournament, the uh, Bay Area Open Tactical Simulator Bats, I think, whatever it was. Anyways, uh, Ryan, how are you doing? How are you feeling about this game? Are you excited to watch potentially 6+ hours of Kill Team?
I can think of no better way to spend my Saturday afternoon than watching potentially 6+ hours of Kill Team. I am hyped and I'm ready to go. I've been looking forward to this matchup for, geez, I mean, it's been like 2 weeks, right? We've had this in the works.
Yeah, yeah, it's been I guess you could say a long time coming, just considering how quickly we were doing all the other matches, and then we kind of like we use so many football references here, kind of like in between the regular the final week of the NFC and AFC championships, they get that extra bonus week to prepare for the Super Bowl. So
Right,
that's kind of what
right.
we gave these guys. We had our third place game between Shane and Manco, which Manco did manage to take. Props to him again, and congratulations to Shane on the top four finish. And it looks like we are going to be joined for the first game by the one, the only Beernid 40K. Beernid, how you doing? How you feeling about this matchup?
I'm excited for it, man. I've been
Yeah,
waiting for this one. I think both players, bring some interesting stuff. The Drukhari list is an interesting one, and Mr. Micro has been doing so well with his Imperial Guard, so it's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to, like you said, 6 hours of kill team.
yeah, potentially, right? We could get that third game. A lot of people, there was I mean, I say there was a lot of talk and people were talking. I was the one forcing people to kind of make those sorts of you know, uh, predictions. I was asking everybody, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So um, now here we are, and a lot of people felt as if Micro was going to potentially 2-0 it. Some people said 3 games. We did randomize the board and the secondary objectives for each one, so they don't have that preview. They might not have gotten as much preparation. I do have a feeling, though, when you look at the bracket and you consider how many games of Micromancers that we casted, there's potentially, I don't know if Danger is this kind of prep kind of person, but he could have gone back and watched all those games and look what Micro did to all these other, Drukhari players, and potentially prepare off of that. Is that the sort of thing? I mean, I know you probably would have done, Shane. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in a final scenario, I would expect both players to have gone back and done the research. A lot of Micromancer's games have been streamed, which I guess is something that could work to Danger's benefit. He kind of knows what to expect. I'm sure. Danger did have his game against me streamed, and his roster, which I think Micro's going to know this, his roster is a bit one note in the sense that it's literally 3 lists. It's a witch list, it's a rack list, and it's a Kabalite list. And whichever one Danger picks, it shouldn't be a surprise to Micro for that reason. So
Yeah.
I don't think either player is going to be taken off guard in the muster here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like you said, it might work against Micro. His games have been casted. He's played against multiple Drukhari. I don't know the Dangerfro. If you look at the bracket, he played against Drukhari Mirror, he played against Admech, and then he played another Drukhari Mirror against you. So he was kind of, and I believe he played a Drukhari Mirror in the group stages. So he was definitely prepared for that Drukhari Mirror, but I don't know that he has much experience against Astra Militarum, especially when you think about the specific way that Micro has been playing them here on this board. Like, he might have some experience against them in his own local meta, but before the pandemic, or potentially, here online in fun games. But I don't know if he's played them on this map. against this kind of player in this way. We do have somebody here who has done that though. So Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about how maybe you approached Micro's Astra Militarum, what you think the struggles are going to be for the Drukhari here?
Yeah, so the way that I kind of, I guess, went about trying to play against Micro's Imperial Guard was to try to not interact with Gotfret and try to deploy or to Mandrake Deep Strike in his backfield, neither of which I was able to accomplish in my game just because of the way that this board is set up and the way that Micro pilots Gotfret. He's very aggressive with that model. So that model is going to wind up on or near one of your objectives, I guess, after it's scoring like turn one domination. And then this map is so open. I actually think that on this map that we've got set up here for the first round, I think this is the best map that Dangerfro could have hoped for, just because of the way that the barriers, or excuse me, those like shipping containers, I guess we'll call them, are set up. Is that there is some like line of sight blocking, so that'll be good against all those hot shot volley guns that I expect Micro to be bringing, because those things are Drukhari kryptonite. They completely ignore all of the invulns just because of their high volume of shots. They get 4 shots apiece. What else do they got? I think they have like AP1, right? So that kind of counteracts even the forces Kabalites up to a 5-up save, forces the Klaviex
Say
up to
AP2 actually.
Oh, it's AP2. Okay, yeah. So Kabalites won't get a save, so I don't expect any Kabalites to be on this board. Not sure if the Klaviex will make it, because then it's going to be getting up to a 5-up save. Yeah, so that leaves either Witches or Racks. I think Dangerfro is more partial to the Racks, just because that's what I've seen him run in the past. Have not seen him run his Witches at all. And also, I just don't think that Witches are very good on this map. So, yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, I do have the deployment up on the stream now, so you guys can see that for the viewers. If you're taking a look at this, maybe you've played on it, maybe you haven't. This is the board that we have been running on TAO. Our friends in Spain put this together when their tournament Freak Wars was canceled, and it's based loosely off of LVO 2020, and we have some differences in the towers, as you can see as I'm moving the camera. You can see through them. That's not a mistake. That is, well, potentially it was a mistake, but it was meant to be that way when they put this together. And so yeah, that introduces some different things here. This is the deployment for game 1. We did roll these ahead of time, but we are only letting the players know before each game, so they didn't have a ton of time to prep on these maps like they potentially have in other weeks where it's been put out to the whole group of people. This is what you're playing this week, figure it out. So I'm going to go to you, Biernid. How are you feeling in this kind of situation? I know you have experience on this map, both in the Spain tournament and the American tournament, the Transatlantic Open, as well as now the Transatlantic Fight Club, which you just won earlier today. So you have yeah, congratulations. You have your experience with this map, but you also have experience playing in person, right? Where you don't generally get as much time to prep. So what are these players looking to do on this deployment, but also just specifically in the, I guess, shorter amount of time now that they have to muster compared to what they've had in the past in these tournaments that we've been playing in here on Tabletop Simulator?
Yeah, well, there's a lot to unload there. Like, as I look at this, the first thing that I think about is the fact that, like for Micro, the way these DZs are, there's no starting on an objective that is going to let you just ready up, which is important because the Drukhari are going to want to deep strike in, right? It's kind of like their thing. Put something in reserve, come in the backfield, and shoot you. So you want to be able to ready and still be able to shoot, and that gets even better when you're able to do that standing on an objective. So I'm looking at the board now, and I kind of see, that is a thing. It's going to be an interesting match. And I guess we kind of just got to wait and see. I'm interested to find out what the other 2 maps are as well. But for now, this one, looks like it's kind of not what Micro would be hoping for, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. I can tell you, when I was testing out teams for TAO, this is one of the maps I played Micro on. I say played, but we really only got maybe one turn in. This is one that he really liked the Flamers on. So I do have a little bit of inside info there. I don't know if we'll see them here, but basically what he did was he just moved Pius up on one side, a Flamer up on the other, onto these objectives, and then not only is he, potentially, hitting the mandrakes or whatever it is that have the -1 because they're auto hit weapons on the flamers, but he's on his objective, he's holding his objective, and that flamer has range onto the opposite objectives on those sides. So it's a very difficult position you put your opponent in, that they have to move up and potentially get flamed down sitting on their own objective. I don't know if we'll see that. He's had so much success with the hotshot volley guns, as we just
Yeah.
discussed and Ryan brought up, but it is something to think about just because he has prepped so much and he has these plans, I think, for every single deployment. Like, okay, this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do here. This is what I'm going to do there. That, yeah, it should be interesting. And this was one that was a little bit harder for teams to screen out on, right? Because you have that
Yes.
whole broad side of the board that you have to protect from. So, yeah, it could be interesting. Let's take a moment here and we're going to look at what the secondaries for these guys are, and we'll see. Okay, we'll take a look here on Danger because he hasn't deleted any of them yet. So the options that they have to choose from: high profile targets and cut off the head are their two killy options. Then they have recon sweep, domination, engage on all fronts, and proximity alert for their positionals. So, Shane, looking at these 6, what do you think Micromancer is going to go for in this situation?
I mean, it's tough because of this board. I can tell you from my experience on this deployment, it's not that friendly for deep striking, and it's very easy to screen out those deep strike options, especially with just like an outflank or something, which he's going to be looking to do with Rouse, as he always does. Because of that, I think that cut off the head becomes a little bit harder of a challenge. I don't think either of these players have lists where they're short on specialists, so based on that, I think both players are going to be leaning towards high-profile targets, especially because Micro he may very well be running like 5 specialists when you include the retainers. Granted, it still caps at 3, but just based on those alone, I mean, that's going to be the tough choices to make is the kill secondary. Past that, Micro is going to like domination because of Gotfret. Recon sweep, it could be doable, but again, it's a little bit difficult with these tiny deployment zones, which makes me think he's going to go for engage on all fronts. Proximity alert isn't really a viable choice, especially not for the Astra Militarum. So if I had to guess, I'm thinking high-profile targets, domination, and engage on all fronts for Micro.
All right. Now that we have his guess, that was let's go over and actually take a look at Micros. So he has chosen high profile, engage on all fronts, and domination. So there
I
you
was
go.
right.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you
The
go.
exact 3 that you guessed. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? We've seen him do it so much with Gotfret, where he just shoves that model into the center of the board and nobody wants to get near it. High profile targets works pretty much against most people. They're going to have specialists. You're going to be able to take them out, get points for it. And engage on all fronts, that I think on this map, a little bit easier. You don't even really need Deep Strike to do it, whereas the maps where you're going the whole length of the board to get to those other quadrants is a little bit tougher. But yeah, we'll see what he does here. I believe Danger is working on his secondaries right now. So, Ryan, do you have any thoughts on what maybe Dangerfro is going to be going?
He's going to take a similar approach. I believe he'll be taking engage on all fronts. I believe he'll be taking. He's definitely not going to be taking proximity alert, or at least I wouldn't want to if I was in his position. Don't think he'll be taking domination just because he'll probably be expecting Micro to be taking that and contesting that center objective. That's going to be tough to do with basically any combination of models that he has in his roster when you're going up against Gotfret for that point. So I believe he'll probably be taking high profile targets. I'm going in with engage on all fronts. And then what was the 6th secondary? I've got high
Cut off the
profile.
head.
cut off the head, domination, engage on all fronts, and proximity alert. What was the
Recon
sixth
sweep.
one? Recon
Sorry.
sweep. I could see him doing recon sweep, engage on all fronts, and high profile targets. I think that's what Dangerfro will be going for.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's see what he's got. He has high profile, recon sweep, and cut off the head.
Ooh,
Nailed it.
There you
bold
go.
strategy.
Yeah,
This
very
is
bold
why
strategy.
this is why people need to subscribe to the Command Point podcast. We got you guys nailed it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The cut off the head, definitely maybe not what we were expecting, right? That's definitely a tougher one as the game goes on. You know, you see it slip away from you. Shane, you just had experience with that in your latest matchup where looked like you had it that turn one, like you were going to score the full points, and it just pulled away from you. And that can be really tough to come back from, because not only are you thinking like, okay, I'm down in this game already, now I'm cut off the head, I'm losing every single turn that I don't get it, I'm losing points on it, right? So that gap that I potentially have to make up gets bigger and bigger. Yeah, this is interesting. Right now, we know both the secondaries. I believe they have both mustered, so we're going to give them the go ahead to reveal in a moment. Beernid, do you have any thoughts on what we're going to see from both sides? Like, do you think we're going to see the Kabalites? Do you think we're going to see the Racks? And then on the other side, do you think we're going to see Hotshot? Do you think we're going to see Flamers potentially, like I discussed seeing him do in a prep game? What are you thinking for both teams here, really quick? And then we'll give them the go ahead for the reveal. We'll give you a chance
Sure.
to get your guesses in.
Well, the thing about it is the sport's so open that it's like if you're not doing mandrakes, you're going racks, right? I don't think he's going to want to trade shots with guard. I guess he could, but I don't know that that'd be the most optimal thing. He might try because you got to think best of three. Sometimes when you're going to that first one, if you have an outlier list that is like a possible good thing, a lot of times you might want to lead with that so that if you get the win, hey, that's great. If not, you got your stronger thing to kind of jump into. So we could see something kind of weird out at the start, maybe catch him with some jank or something like that. He's maybe hoping could do well, and then he defaults to racks. I have no idea. I didn't see the other games with Danger, unfortunately. So I'm not quite sure. As far as Micro, we know what he's going to do with Gotfret. Gotfret's going to come up to that center and then probably turn to charge off onto one of those lower objectives that Danger had right by his DZ and wanted to keep. And then I think that Micro is probably, if you look at the central tower near his DZ, over about 3 inches to the left and the right, there will be a hotshot volley gun there, looking over onto the side objectives where Danger is going to place his stuff, and also the center objective. And I think that's going to be a turn one. He's going to ready those two, and then probably be moving with the other guys. He might actually even ready with Rein and Rouse, something like that, especially the sniper version. Over to the side, take a shot, and then move on to that point afterwards. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, one final thing. Do we see Pius Born this game? Beernid, yes or no?
She's hard at 125 or at 100, to fit in, but yeah, I think so.
All right, you think we see Pius. Shane, do you think we see Pius?
I don't think so.
All right, Ryan, do you think we see Pius?
No.
No Pius.
No.
All right, I got 2 no's. I got 1 maybe. It sounded like a maybe, but it was a yes. I'm going to give them the go-ahead to reveal, and we'll see what... All right, here we are, guys. We're going to get their reveals. We're going to find out what they are playing in this matchup. Exciting times. Drum roll, please.
Here we go.
Okay,
so we are looking at a Kabalite heavy team with a Klaviex and a Nightfiend and 2 Mandrakes. So that's, rather surprising. Looks like he's got a Shredder there. He's got the I can't think of what the giant crazy gun is right now. I'm
the Dark Lance.
Yeah, Dark Lance. And then we look over at Micro's side. He has got a different Gotfret again. Looks like a Age of Sigmar Chaos Warrior there. He's got Rein and Rouse. No Pius. We do have a Guardsman Flamer, though, like I was discussing. And then it looks like he has 3 hotshot volley guns. All Scions, I believe. Yes, Scion. So potential for deep strike there. 1 regular Guardsman. Sergeant with the Chainsword and his Guardsman leader. So, that's kind of, what he normally takes. The Flamer is maybe the only difference there from what he has been taking. But this Drukhari team, wow, this is surprising. Shane, any initial thoughts here? What do you got?
So one thing I guess the Kabalites shocked me a little bit. He's got two. One of them's a comms, but he's got two Kabalite warriors that are just basic splinter rifles. That's not going to be useful for him very much. The comms will obviously help, but the splinter rifle is not going to be good against Imperial Guard. Not very strong models in general. So he's going to be leaning heavily on that blaster, and on that, or rather on the not the blaster, but the shredder and the dark lance. I was hoping to see a Mandrake veteran spec from Dangerfro. And the reason for that is this. I mentioned earlier that deep striking on this map is a bit difficult. It's going to be really easy for Micro to screen him out. So with Danger having recon sweep and cut off the head, he's hoping that he can just deep strike his Mandrakes into the deployment zone and blast the leader. But he's not going to be able to do that. That's just not something that's actually going to happen. And the easiest way for him to get into that deployment zone and get on the leader, oddly enough, I think might have been a veteran move from a Mandrake. And he did have a Mandrake vet spec on his roster, and he hasn't opted to take it.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously not. I don't think this is the muster any of us expected for the Drukhari side. It is a little bit different. He does already have one Mandrake in reserve, it looks like there. So you are right about the deep strike. Whether he puts the second one in or not, I'm not sure. He did take the Klaviex, which I know some people were wondering about on this map. And then the Kabalite spam. It's not even so. Most of the people that were running something semi-similar to this, right? It was the two gunners, and that was it. One of them was a comms, one of them was a sniper, and it was generally the blaster and the dark lance, and that's what we were looking at. This is kind of different. I will say, as you mentioned, right, the splinter weapons with the 4+ to wound always doesn't really work that well against another T3 army kind of thing. It's not actually helping him, whereas it's something that helps more against those tougher Marines and things like that. Also, he's got an Agonizer, which is the same thing, wounding on 4-ups on his Sybarite or Sybarite. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but where he could have taken a power sword, I believe, which would have cut through some of these models a little bit better. And wounded, potentially on the 4 anyway with the strength 3 versus toughness 3. Yeah, Ryan, what are your initial thoughts looking at these musters and possibly what's going on in deployment right now?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I really like this muster from Dangerfro here. That Dark Lance, it's going to have farther range than the hotshot volley gun. So I think he's planning on trying to snipe those models off the table with that weapon. And then in my game against Micro, I almost brought a Kabalite gunner with a shredder because that weapon can actually one-shot Gotfret. You need to get a lot of good dice rolls, but the potential is there. It's an assault D6 weapon, right? And then it's strength 6. AP doesn't matter against Gotfret, 1 damage, but that assault D6 is it can get you there. It can take him to an injury roll for sure. The Klaviex, not so sure about that model, especially with the flamer and like you're gonna have Gotfret there, and you're gonna have all these models shooting at it with their high AP. And then just like the other two plain old Kabalites with the splinters, yeah, those are just throwaway models. I imagine them just sitting on a backfield or just screening out against deep strikes. Moving on to micros. Micro kind of he came in with what everybody kind of expected, really. Just what we've seen before from him against Drukhari. This plan has worked really well in the past. I guess we'll just have to see how it works out here.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting musters again. Deployment is on the way. They've both got a handful of models down. We've got the Scion heavy down. We've got the Scion demo down. They are positioned in spots that looks like they're gonna have a chance to peek out and potentially ready and still have shots completely on those objectives on the opposite side of the board, which is what Biranid and both of you guys kind of talked to before about how he likes to set up these hotshot volleys and ready them and just rain hotshot volley hell down on his opponent turn 1. A little bit different, as we mentioned too, not starting with those objectives inside the deployment that he can sit them on. But as long as you're keeping, you have the models to put up on those objectives and you're keeping his models potentially off or killing them off of those objectives, it doesn't matter as much. We've seen a lot of that kind of playstyle from Micro where he's not as worried about his points in that first turn or two. He's more worried about taking it to his enemy and dropping as many of his models as he can, securing that board control for those later turns. Obviously, in a lot of cases, those later turns are scary against a Drukhari player because they're getting to hit better in melee, their leadership is stronger, they're re-rolling charges and all that kind of thing. But there's not a whole bunch of melee threats on the opposite side with the Drukhari because he didn't go for the Mandrake spam. He's got, the Klaviex, of course, and he does have 2 Mandrakes plus the Nightfiend leader. But I don't know if you're as scared of this team in those later turns as you are some of the other teams. Biernid, initial thoughts here. Do you think maybe, thoughts on that? Like I said, the later turns for the Drukhari, thoughts on the deployment so far. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that you make a interesting observation by saying that Micro likes to trade in the early thing, and it's interesting because like game theory, there's a lot of stuff on that in multiple games. Like chess, for example, usually they say it's advantageous to trade queens a lot of times because it simplifies the board state. So that's kind of a thing that we maybe that's kind of what Micro's got going on. No, but in the early game, like I was saying, he's got, it wasn't exactly where I was thinking. I was expecting 2 more inches over. He's got Rein completely out of LOS, basically to like half the board. But he's able to be doing exactly what we were talking about, which is shoot, sharp, and scarper, or as you called it, shoot, scoot, and boogie on our latest podcast. He's going to take a shot, and then he's going to run onto that objective. So he's got less skin in the game. He can hold that guy back, wait till Micro's shot, take a shot, and then move on to that objective once it's safe to do that. I think we're going to see that there. And then, Scion, hot shot volley, and, the other one to the side. We kind of expected that. I thought they were going to be a little bit further open, but he's keeping them pretty protected here. I don't know if the Dark Lance is probably, the reason why. Maybe he's trying to get a toe in cover or something like that, maybe being a little less bold. Or maybe it's like you were saying, he's just not really that interested in, points and things like that in this first round. So, interesting stuff. I honestly didn't really expect this Drukhari match or this Drukhari muster. And seeing this, I wonder if it's kind of like what I was talking about. Like maybe he has racks kind of loaded up that he's going to do in round 2, and he's going to throw this kind of a jankier kind of a thing to see if he gets a win, and maybe go from there. I'm not sure. Gotcha. What do you guys think? Actually, do you think that if he loses this game, we see racks next turn?
I think it's certainly possible. It also is going to obviously depend on the map that we're playing on, the deployment that we're looking at for game 2. But I did want to bring something else up that I'm just now noticing. Unless I'm mistaken, Micro has not opted to bring the Power Fist Tempester. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't see it. He has a Chainsword guy here, Chainsword and Bolt Pistol, but I do not see any Power Fist. I don't see it. So I'm pretty sure he did not take it.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. I think that what you do here is you out-activate him in deployment, and you wait to see where he puts his Klaviex, because that's one of the few models he's going to be positioning aggressively with. And you deploy the Tempester on the same side, and then if the Tempester decides to try and fight you, you fix bayonets and hopefully kill him. I understand that to me that says that Micro was expecting racks, and this could be interesting because perhaps you don't bring the Power Fist if you don't expect to be able to get in combat that often unless it's against a rack. But even then, the Klaviex is still going to be there. So I think it's a mistake to not bring the Tempester Power Fist here in general.
Interesting.
That's a really interesting point. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, and just to talk a little bit more to what Biernid was saying, right? Throwing out this kind of a different roster, maybe trying to catch Micro off guard. Maybe he has here, right? No Power Fist. Maybe he wasn't expecting the Klaviex, things like this. This is something, we talk about football in here. We also talk about esports in here. I know Shane is a fan. This is something you kind of see in esports too, like when it's best of 3 or best of 5. Maybe you have like a weird lineup, like in Dota, for instance, that this is something you've been practicing as a team, but, maybe the enemy won't expect, and you can throw throw it out there, and you can lose game 1 and not so much worry about it because you know you have that game 2, that game 3 where you can play your more solid, more core game and show up. So it looks like they are rolling initiative. Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. I'm going to sit back. We're going to see what happens. Take it away, Ryan.
All right.
Right.
So, go ahead, Ryan.
What was this roll here for? You just roll for initiative?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Danger 1 initiative with a 7.
Oh, okay. So automatically Dangerfro's in the hot seat with that one.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Micro, all he's going to have to do when it comes to him is just move a few models in position to get shots on target. Rest of the models can sit back. He can worry about screening out his backfield against those 2 mandrakes that Danger's put up in reserve. And yeah, he'll be pretty set up. Everything else can just ready up for the most part. It's got to be worried about. Geez, I can see the Kabalite gunner going up on top of the container right in front of him, and I don't know. I think Danger's gonna have to play a little cagey here this turn.
Yeah, it's a bad spot because we have this hot shot volley versus Dark Lance kind of an exchange going on, and if he moves that, Micro is probably just going to ready and take shots first. Could be a thing. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't think he wanted to win initiative here.
Yeah, you never want to win initiative, especially on a board like this between 2 shooting teams.
"Quote unquote" winning initiative, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, we were talking about the experimental lists in game 1. I am a bit of a proponent of that. I did that against Micro in the Bats finals.
Mm-hmm.
I ran the 4 Storm Shields, which wasn't something I was actually running throughout the tournament. And, it backfired on me. But then after that situation, you just kind of revert back into what you think is optimal.
Yeah, because if you have a swing list that is capable of doing it, like that's the time to do it. It's probably that first game. See if you can get the win with it. And if not, you have this core thing that's like, okay, this is the tailor specific to here. Because like if you do it turn 1 and win, and that's like you've already shown your hand or game 1, you do it, you show your hand and you win that. It's kind of like, what are you going to do? Go 2 other games potentially with that exact same list and just let him tailor harder and harder each time and find out exactly what you want to do. It's just like, I think you go first with a weird list. And I'm not sure if that's what Danger is doing here. Maybe this is what he thinks is the way to go. And we would see this in every game. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be. It looks like he's trying to work on zoning out Rouse a little bit. That's going to be futile. Let me tell you, it's hard because he's kind of keeping Rouse. He's moving this Kabalite warrior over here to the edge to keep Rouse out of his deployment zone. But Rouse will happily hop in front of that guy and toss a grenade. It's very difficult to do anything about that on this deployment. I see the Shredder has moved up. I don't want to measure, but I'm not sure if the Shredder is totally covering the middle objective. I would assume with that 12-inch range. And even so, it can only see half of it. So Danger, or Micro rather, could hide Gotfret on the opposite side, kind of near the front of the objective from his point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Dark Lance is just going to ready.
Yep.
Dark Lance is just going to ready? Oh, okay.
I mean, he's covering a decent amount of area. I mean, when he puts him there, that's him saying, I'm comfortable with readying this model right here, regardless.
Yep.
You don't want to move.
The deployment fundamentals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a heavy weapon for those of you watching. So if he moves that Dark Lance, he's taking a -1.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he got him into the position. He made his move, quote unquote, through the deployment, and he's ready to just, happy to just ready that up and go.
Yeah.
Problem is when you're going first and you want to shoot something, you can just be completely denied. You can just say no. But we know that he wants, Micro probably wants to go onto that objective. So that's a nice honeypot that he's readied up in front of. And he knows Micro's probably going to put a body on there sometime. And worst comes to worst, I guess he can, throw away some dice at Gotfret if he chooses not to put a guy there. He might wait till Fire and Fade. That's the thing. With something like this, it's funny, but you might actually pass that guy, even if you have shots or something like that, and like normally through initiative going back and forth, you would have shot him earlier. You might want to pass that guy just to wait for is Micro going to fire and fade a weak body onto that point that then you can shoot with.
Yep. No, I totally agree. He's right now. Danger is actually considering moving just kind of advancing one of his mandrakes. Or I guess no, he was measuring for his Nightfiend, which I can't imagine he's just gonna plop his Nightfiend up to the front. But another thing we should be looking at is Micro's leader, because remember that Danger has taken cut off the head, so we have to be wondering, how is Micro going to hide this leader? Like how is Danger even going to get to him?
Yeah,
it's going to be screened out. Yeah,
like has he sussed out that that's a secondary he took? You know, was there viable choices that made him think that maybe he wouldn't have taken that?
Yeah,
it's like you're not going to take what is it, the B within 2 inches of a model, you know, and over like cut off the head.
Yeah,
I don't think. What is that one? What is the name of it? That
proximity.
Secondary. Proximity. Yep. So it's like, okay, if it's like, if the secondaries are bad, you're gonna be able to suss it out even easier. So that's going to be the question: is does Micro know that he took that? And I'm guessing he probably does.
Well, I mean, Micro could also be thinking, hey, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 specialists. Maybe he's going to take the high-profile targets. I mean, I think that's what I would have done if I was in Danger's position. But
no, you always pretty much take high-profile against guard, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can get lucky.
Danger did take high-profile.
I don't believe he.
Off the head.
Oh, he took both.
Yeah. So he went Killy over position on this one.
Yeah. It's interesting because in my matchup against Micro, I didn't take cut off the head. I don't think that was any of the secondary options I had in my game against him. But I wanted to try to deep strike my mandrakes in and potentially try to snipe his leader off the board turn 1, just because of that model's ability, the orders ability, or the voice of command ability, right? Because that's such an integral part of Micro's roster. And so Micro's always trying to keep that model well protected. And he definitely will be doing that.
No, it's like
to screen out the mandrakes, even if he doesn't think that Danger has taken cut off the head.
Yeah, cut off the head. It's kind of like you always take high profile against guard, because like even if they have 4, you're probably going to get it. And then like if one of them's Gotfret, you can get lucky on Gotfret. Like yesterday, I think it was, I just saw Shane one-shot Gotfret. You know, you can get lucky in this game, and make some big moves and stuff happen. Stacks, synergies.
Hey, that wasn't luck. That was skill.
Hey, right. But yeah, also cut off the head. I think that's almost an auto include against guard too, because it's like there's so much utility. Like you're always wanting to kill the leader because he's a CP farm, but like not only that, it's a CP farm. It's a max 3 points if you can get it in the first 2 rounds, and there's your guy that gives orders. So it's like, if I think that the Imperial Guard leader has more of a target on his back than any other leader in the game, kind of. And so you're wanting to take him out anyway. Stacking cut off the head on top is just kind of like a given, if you even think it's a remote possibility, because you're going to be working towards that.
So I want to talk about something here. Dangerfro has readied his Klaviex.
Oh, what?
I don't like. I understand that you want to keep that model safe because it's a melee model and you don't want him getting shot off the board, but this to me is a bit questionable, I think. I mean, that guy's so far away. He's so far away.
See, this is the issue with the Klaviex, like on this board, right? Because if he moves him up the board right now, he's going to be out in the open and he's going to eat a bunch of high AP shots, right? But then, the other thing is, it's like, if you just sit him and you sit him in the back and you try to protect him, he's not going to be doing anything for you. This is the struggle that I've come up against again and again and again playing Drukhari on this board, is that this Klaviex just, it's like you get him stuck in turn 1, or excuse me, if you're like, you get him stuck in like 1 turn in this 4-turn game, and if he doesn't kill a model, he like what has he done for you? It's 16 points that's just eating up a slot. That's another what would that be? It'd be like easily another Mandrake, and then with some change, a Mandrake and some change.
Yep.
All
No,
right.
if you're not making melee like turn 2 with, if you're not making charges with the melee model turn 2, you're kind of sad, right?
Yeah,
That's why I think
especially when you're
Shane.
Drukhari.
Yeah, I think Shane was right to talk about the veteran Mandrake that Danger has in his roster. I think that was the better call here.
Yeah.
Because, here's this guy. He has 2 wounds. He does have a good save, all that stuff. But against guard, he's going to get shot. And it's like, you're just going to hang him back. Like, what is he doing? He's not on a point. Just like, what are those points doing for you that you've put and, paid points for to put on that board? Yeah, I don't know.
What are they doing? Okay. Sorry.
So it looks like they are measuring to see if Gotfret is on that center objective there. And from
looks to me like he is.
Yeah, from where Gotfret is now, it looks like that Kabalite gunner is going to have some long range shots on him.
Yeah.
So kind of working to his advantage. Would you? I would have wanted to see the comm spec line up alongside the Kabalite gunner if this was kind of Danger's plan the whole time. Or actually,
He's
hang
got
on
him
a
lined up
second
here.
here. There's something that I don't think we mentioned earlier. Danger is running the. Oh no, he is running Kabal, the Flayed Skull. Okay, I misspoke. I thought he was running a different Kabal that ignores the long range penalty earlier.
Yeah, no. I'm looking right now at obviously Danger is going to get to Deep Strike first, but as of now, if he doesn't patch this up, we could see potentially. Again, I don't want to measure, but we could see Rouse maybe being able to shoot his grenade at the Klaviex. If he puts him over on the right here in front of the Kabalite warrior.
Yep. Agreed.
That could be scary. That could be like game losing. I mean, if he rolls the D6 and maybe he gets like 4, maybe you see him split shots 2 and 2 between the Klaviex and the Kabalite warrior.
Right.
And to add insult to injury, not only is he going to come in and drop grenades that, like, if any of them hit, it could just kill your guy. He's going to, scarper onto that point probably that both players would be considering as Danger's point, pretty much. Come into that side, boom, get the Klaviex, kill a big, powerful, important model, and then just run onto that point. Could be some feel bads there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm imagining that Danger will want to drop his Mandrakes onto his objectives there because he hasn't moved any of his actual models there.
Yeah.
Regardless, Micro's going to make it so that if he's on those objectives, whether it's through moving there normally or dropping a Mandrake there through Deep Strike, they're going to get shot at by hot shots. Maybe not this hot shot on the right. It will have a little bit of a shot, but not much. And it could be avoided entirely. But I guess on the left, I'm not sure where we're looking at from the camera perspective, but we could see something like that on both sides of the board. And then, of course, you've got the heavy who's moved up onto the tower there, so he can see just about everything.
Agreed. Yep, and then he's going to take a shot, and you could just hide from whatever shots are left, run to that center. I mean, he's got options. So the question is, what does he want to shoot with that sniper right there that he just moved up on that board? Because that's going to determine where he places Rouse a little bit. Is he going to do that Klaviex bomb, or is he going to move in to give the sniper a better shot at some other target, basically?
Yeah. Right now, as far as Rein goes, it looks like Rein is going to be looking to shoot that Shredder. He does have a little bit of a shot on him. It's probably the only thing that he can see. And honestly, the Klaviex is unlikely. Even if he could see it, it's unlikely that Rein's going to kill that Klaviex with 0 AP, 1 damage on one shot. He'd be hoping for the mortal and then for him to fail a 3-up. So I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, and he's moving up that sergeant very aggressively.
That's very brave.
Right in the line of sight of the Kabalite gunner.
Yeah. There would be both Kabalite gunners because the Shredder would have been able to see him too.
Yeah, I don't know about that move. Here you go, Darklands. Here's a free kill. I'm thinking that Micro might be feeling some ill will towards that sergeant and wants to punish him on the front lines here.
Yeah, well, he's measuring some range there. He's going to use his leader, I think, to make him run away, maybe, or something like that. I don't know what he's looking for orders.
Yeah, it would
for
have
that
to be move,
sergeant
move,
for.
move.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why what he would be trying to do with that, unless he's going to try to get over to the side, maybe. So
Yeah,
or maybe close the distance and get in for a turn 2 charge.
Maybe use move, move, move to. I'll hover my mouse, but move him right here out of LOS to maybe charge next turn.
Yep,
that's probably the best play. I mean, the flexibility of orders is so odd.
Yeah, that's why you got to kill that leader. You know, get your max cut off the head, kill the CP buff generator. You know.
Yeah,
Take
don't
away
count
the
on that
order.
leader ever being in danger, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Now, if there was
if danger, even if there was room back here for a deep strike, which there's not going to be, but even if there was, danger's putting models there, and then the only way he's going to hold an objective otherwise is through fire and fading, and then he's just getting one.
Yep.
It's tough. Really, it is.
Yeah, and Micro could do the pass thing too. Micro is looking at that objective over to the left of how I have it situated right now, looking from Danger's side of the board. And, you know, you could just pass and just wait. Like, okay, take your shot, fire and fade, and then I'm going to get you.
Yeah,
Just
not to mention
play
Rein
along.
is certainly going to hop onto some objective with his boogie there.
Yeah. No, at the end of this, Micro will have 3 objectives, possibly 4, I would say, depending on where he brings Rouse or whatever, because he's going to have that center. He's going to have both of his through a fire and fade and a shoot, sharp, and scarper, and probably a shoot, sharp, and scarper with Rouse coming in to drop bombs on the Zealot. So 3 to 4 objectives for Micro. Probably just 3, right? He might not overextend crazily to get to this objective. Yeah, I don't think he would pay a CP to get there if he's already going to easily for free get 3.
I think it's interesting too that Danger needs to kill something this round because he's looking at hold more for Micro right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to kill something this round because he's just going to get hold 1 maximum. He might not even get that. So he needs to get a kill to keep up on the primary there, and then avoid any of his models getting killed, which could be difficult, right? It could be difficult with Rouse coming in, with Rein getting shots with these hotshot volley guns pointed everywhere.
Yeah.
He needs to hope that he doesn't lose a model and that he gets kill 1, hold 1. That's kind of the goal here.
And he really needs a stack for that kill to be on a specialist, kind of, if he can, to get that high-profile targets point, which isn't that likely because Sniper's out of sight of the Kabalite. I believe, without measuring, it's out of range of the Shredder, and he's got his demo tucked right there. Gotfret's 3 wounds with a 3-up invul, and you're not going to kill him in one go unless you just get extremely lucky on dice. So, yeah, I think that stack that he would be hoping for is just denied by virtue of initiative.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Micro is going to get domination this turn. No stopping that.
Yep.
Here comes the deep strike.
We got reserves. Where's he going? Better go into points.
Yeah, they're going to have to go on objectives right now because they're not getting into that back line. I don't think there's anywhere he can go.
Yeah.
Without measuring, I really think that Micro's totally screened this out.
Yeah, you want it to be like on a point and hopefully out of a lot of danger of shooting and able to do a cheeky turn 2 charge with the Mandrakes because Mandrakes are good in melee against these guys.
Yeah.
So like, to that left objective, looking from the Micro side or the danger side of the board, he could go here. He wouldn't be suffering too much threat. Oh, I don't even know if he'd have enough range to be outside of the 5.5 to get on that one. So I was thinking he could plop there and charge, but he'd be starting too close, I think.
Yeah.
So it would be an illegal thing. So he can't come there. That's the problem on this other one too. So he's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to go onto one of Micros with the deep strike. Yuck. So he is just going to drop it on a point, which is interesting because that could save the Zealot, right? The Klaviex. Mm-hmm. If he's going here, now that 5-inch bubble gets pushed a little bit further and makes it harder to drop in Mr. Grenade Boy.
And it is worth mentioning that Micro probably wants Rouse over here, because that's the only quadrant where, I guess actually he doesn't have either of the quadrants on Danger's side of the board for engage in all fronts. So I'm not sure. He might be looking to get one of them with the Sergeant, but now that there's that Mandrake over there, it could be a little bit more difficult.
You know what I find very interesting is how did Up and Atom get ruled on this pack? Because Gotfret could come into that Mandrake as placed currently.
Well, there'd have to be a combat in order, because he'd have to fight after. But you can do that. It's just there's no combat for him to go after. So
you know what? This guy isn't even going to end up being there. He's way too close. He just set him there. Now he's going to move him, I think, somewhere else. I think he's just here.
I mean, it's impossible for that, because Gotfret to even move 3 inches and fight would mean that the model was within 5 inches easily.
Yeah, there you go. Right. That's just not going to happen with the reserves, not legally.
Yeah. So it sounds like he's trying to hide this Mandrake over here from the hotshot volley gun up top, but I don't think it's possible with the scaffolding. No. Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to do that.
No, I think at this point you're looking at this and you're saying, I'm going to be behind. I must play bold, and try to catch up. So he's got to be setting up in a place that might not be the best right now, but gives the best leverage for turn 2.
Yeah, triple hotshot volley gun.
Yeah,
difficult. It's difficult to play against that.
Yeah, he's got to take a point here. Where does he bring that other Mandrake? That'll be interesting to see. Well, maybe not. Let's think about that. Chainsword bolt pistol. Yeah, I almost think he's taking the wrong objective here, because this side has the hotshot volley gun. It's got views by Rein. It's got a sergeant with a chainsword pistol that could be trying to charge him next turn. I think he wanted to go to the other side. Because
I mean, it's tough. I don't think there's a good choice.
Yeah. True.
So there's no way he can get onto any of the objectives near Micro's deployment.
No.
They're just too screened out. That's just not happening, let alone getting in his deployment zone or getting easy shots on his leader. He could maybe hug that right side of the board from his perspective to get pot shots on the leader, but he's looking at a readied hotshot volley gun, and then he's not standing on an objective. It's tough. I think Micro has done his movement pretty well here. I mean, it's on these boards, it's easy for the hotshot volley gun board build to thrive, I guess.
So here's a question for you: when reserves goes bad for you like this, I often see people force the other model in anyway. Do you almost think that maybe Danger should consider here holding on and doing the reserve tactic for a CP next turn for the single Mandrake remaining in reserves?
I mean, I've done it before. It's tough. I mean,
yeah, because I don't know that he gains as much now as still having a potential threat to drop in the DZ to get the leader. You know what I mean? And now Micro's not as tucked in and stuff like that. You know, things will be different here at the end of the round because this is guard. There's going to be an order to move. There's going to be the fire and fade analog for free on the two squat boys. So I almost think he should leave the Mandrake in reserves or consider it and still have a chance to go after that leader, stack with recon sweep, things like that.
Yeah, there's a non-zero chance. There's a non-zero chance that both the Mandrakes that came in are about to die, like right off the bat.
Yeah. So he did bring in both. He brought in both. Yeah. And I'm not sure what this one's doing here. I mean, I guess it's set up for next turn to try and take that point. But where he's placed, I believe he's going to take shots from a Scion. Yeah. There's another Scion on top of the thing. Yes, he moved, but he is a heavy, so he's going to take shots there. That's a lot of shots to not have a lot of compensation on. I think it might have been better to leave him in reserve and still have a chance for next round.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of doing like
there he
this
is.
guy.
Yo, Lord, he coming.
Oh, and he's going after that guy. That's interesting. So he's going to shoot
really interesting
onto that point. Dude,
yeah,
that would be so
I'm not
dirty.
too surprised.
Yeah, dude, it would be so dirty. even if he didn't kill that Mandrake, if he shoots Sharp and Scarpers onto that point, he completely denies hold 1 without making Danger do a Fire and Fade of his own.
Yeah.
Because he could shoot that guy, win or lose. He moves on to there. Is the Mandrake going to kill Rouse in one round of shooting? I don't know.
And look at the only other thing other than that Mandrake that's going to be able to see Rouse, because the barrier is in the way for the Darklands. So the Darklands can't see Rouse. It's this Kabalite warrior with the Splinter Rifle. A Splinter Rifle will be wounding Rouse on a 4.
That's
this is why this is why it's not good in the matchup. Against T3, it's really inefficient. Against, maybe if you're against like a Plague Marine, T5 or something, or even T4, it's like average. But even then, it's 0 AP, 1 damage. It's not ideal, and I think he's just making sure that the Darklands can't see Rouse, which I believe is the case.
Yep. Yeah, and another thing that's very interesting here is somebody just made a comment on the Twitch stream that we're an hour deep in this match with no shots fired. Is that accurate? Are we already an hour in? Because that's something that's a phenomenon.
No.
Unique.
Yeah, we
to
did
TTS.
about a 20-minute pregame. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say it's a unique phenomenon in TTS that the games tend to be a little bit longer. They don't have the hard cap, and usually, I mean, this is a final top table game anyway. There wouldn't be the cap here on this game, so it's not like we could say, okay, it would be called, turn 2 with a 5-point win for this person, because on the final tables it usually goes to time, or it goes as long as it needs to take.
Right.
Yeah. So a little different on this one, guys.
Oh, he's doing the move right now. He got a 4 on the advance. So that's a 10-inch move from the Sergeant. Yep. He's just trying to move him where the Darklands can see him.
Yeah.
Or the Shredder. Granted, there's going to be a couple Mandrakes looking right at him, which is a little bit scary in its own right.
But I think he's found that perfect spot because of where this wedge is on the tower, and the way that the crate here blocks it. He's going to be completely out of LOS of both of those guys and ready for a turn 2 charge.
Yeah, that's if he survives the Mandrake shots, which are going to be looking at him.
Yeah, I think Mandrake's going to want to try to shoot at Rouse, don't you?
I mean, you might, but you're probably not going to kill him, right? 2 wounds. And
yeah.
You're hoping for both wounds to go through, or maybe for the mortal.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's more likely that Rouse lives compared to the Sergeant. You got to get kill 1, like I was saying.
Yep. Gross. This is going to be an interesting one. They're keeping it interesting for us, at least, right, boys?
Yeah. Would you guys have rather liked to see Rouse deep strike into Dangerfro's deployment zone behind the Kabalite gunner and the Klaviex and try to grenade the Klaviex and give that +1 shot to for Rein to snipe the Kabalite gunner from all the way downtown?
I think it was the Darklands looks at him and he dies.
Yeah, I think it was a play to come
trap.
to the side. But the way initiative worked, Danger was able to bring in his Mandrake here, which pushed out the bubble further. I think he wanted to come to the side here and throw a grenade on the Klaviex that way.
Yeah, well, what you're thinking about is Danger set up an obvious trap here. He left the middle wide open in his deployment zone, saying, oh, yeah, go ahead, bring Rouse in. And meanwhile, there's a ready Darklands. It was a very clear trap, and I mean, Micro didn't fall for it. I wouldn't expect him to. You just set up along the side and you blast a Mandrake or a Kabalite. I think that's the better play.
Yeah, interesting stuff in the chat. Somebody's mentioning chess clocks. What do you guys think about that? Chess clocks on TTS?
Sure, I don't need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not on the top table, like the final, best of 3 thing or whatever to decide the tournament. But I would really like to have at least like time stuff set up on the rest of the brackets and stuff, like as you're moving up the ladder.
I'm a fast player, so I might be a bit biased. I'm totally fine with chess clocks.
Yeah.
All you slow pokes out there in the audience, yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah, I would like it too. I think it's going to be about time. Maybe in the beginning, we're almost 9 months into this now, so the playing slow, there's not as much of an excuse as there used to be, I don't think.
Yeah.
All right, we got to roll.
Oh, he's splitting his shots with the hotshot volley gun.
He's going 2 and 2. All right, so that's 1 hit, 1 wound.
I think that's on the Sybarite, maybe. Oh, was it on the?
Who did he shoot that at?
I believe one of them was at the leader.
Oh, it might have been on the leader, yeah. But then it would have wound, I thought, because you got a 4.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, you know what it was? That was the second round for the hit roll. We saw 2 sequences of rolling 4, but both missed, and he was rolling the second round of shooting.
I see.
I think.
did
Yeah.
they both? How did they both miss? I saw 4. Maybe they're long range.
Yeah, because he's
it
going
is
into
at long
Mandrake.
range.
Mandrake makes
If
it a
he's-
4, and then he's obscured, so a 5.
Well, he wasn't
Short
shooting
range.
the mandrakes. He was shooting the Sybarite and the Kabalite warrior.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I guess he needed 5s for long range obscurity, which amazingly Micro didn't get a 5 on 4 shots with his hot shot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I know. Holy crap. All right, so we're going to see this readied. It appears. I don't know what
Looks
they're
like
doing.
it was a whiff from the Kabalite gunner.
Okay.
So the sniper, I don't even know who he shot at actually, so it couldn't have been a whiff.
Yeah.
He didn't have a shot.
So I think we're going to see Kabalite gunner shoot who's readied.
Well, that's what I was just saying. I don't think he has a shot.
Oh, okay. Yep.
The Darklance shouldn't have anything to shoot at. I think that Micro made sure of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to take a pass, which isn't terrible in this game because the way that everything is going to be moving afterwards. It's such an interesting thing to see these 2 teams here because both of them are, have the ability to move out of sequence. Basically, it's like, oh, it's the shooting phase. Now I get to move. It's that action economy, Both of these
craziness.
teams. Yeah, both of these teams have access to that. So passing here isn't as crazy as like some other rounds, I guess, or like not having a obvious shot right now with your Dark Lance doesn't mean that you won't, I guess, necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Rein or Rouse could make a mistake with one of those guys with the Scarper and move into range. I don't think he will though.
Oh, interesting. Mandrake is going to take shots into Rouse. I guess that's because the pistol boy already shot, so he figured it would be better action, like better efficiency to shoot Rouse, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider too, though. What I said, it's you need to get kill 1, and you probably just go for the best chance of it after this turn. Because I mean, yeah, he's trying to deny Rouse from shooting the. Oh, here comes the wounding on 4 weapon against Rouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I think he should be shooting this first because the Mandrake, like I said, he was about to shoot Rouse with the Mandrake on the point, and I think it's better to shoot that Sergeant with the Chainsword, even though he already shot. Okay,
That's
so it's
one
one
hit.
hit,
And it
Gets
wounds.
gets it,
Just 1 damage.
and
though.
that's
the
immortal though,
problem.
isn't it?
No, because it's the
No.
Kabalite
Oh, because
shooting.
it's not a Mandrake. That's right. Okay.
All right, so Rouse goes down to 1 wound. It doesn't
a wound.
matter. He doesn't care.
Yep.
He's still going to throw the grenade, and I think we're going to see him do that now.
And he's going to take that point from Mandrake. Here we go.
Yep.
Let's see it. D6
All right,
shots.
D6 shots. Yeah. 2.
Ooh. Taking a
I
-1
think-
to hit.
So he's hitting on 3s.
Yep. No long range for grenades. So even at your maximum distance, I think it's going to be 3s here.
Yeah, it's not obscured, I don't think, but it's just the Mandrake.
Yep.
Ooh, that's
so
not.
3s.
That's pretty fortunate for Dangerfro.
Yeah.
It really is because it's only a once use per game weapon. So that's hurting for Micro right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, do you think it's smart of him to be using the grenade now, or should he just get a pistol shot and then scarp around to a point?
Yeah, it's perfectly
so.
smart to use the grenade. He just got unfortunate with the amount of
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah. Okay. So we're owed.
And he
6.
saves
Oh, and
it.
he nails it. Oh no, that's feel bad city for Micro right now. Okay.
Yeah.
That is
Now
bad.
you scarper down onto the objective.
Yep. He's going to try and take that point. Now it's going to give not Micro Danger an interesting decision here because he's going to be asking who he's going to shoot. Oh, is he not going to go on the point on any of these points?
Is he considering not going on the point? I'm not sure why. Moving back so that just to make sure that Kabalite gunner has a shot. I said earlier he wouldn't make that mistake, so I hope he doesn't.
Rouse's utility is severely lessened to you after you have used that grenade.
Yeah.
He wants to hold a point now. Try to take that hold 1 even away from Danger and secure your lead is what I think. And also to get Danger not to shoot at your Sergeant with the Chainsword bolt pistol right here. Because
so he's
right
not
now
going to move him at all. And I kind of get it because next turn he doesn't want to get charged by the Klaviex.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
And he's making himself unobscured to the Mandrake on the point.
Yeah, because then he's doing what exactly what Danger would have hoped for on the other side of the table. He's like, oh no, don't worry, you don't have to cross the board and take shots for 2 or 3 2 or 3 rounds. Here, reroll charges and get into me. I'll come to you. So it makes sense. But I think he maybe wanted to move onto his own point at least.
Yeah, seriously though, shocking dice there already from Micro here. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
I think he's made the right plays so far, and it just hasn't worked out for him. But again, we're pretty early on, so we'll see how the rest go.
Yeah.
Ryan's going to have a shot on that Mandrake that's almost certainly a freebie, at least forcing a save. 2 shots onto that guy, only gets 1. That's the Mandrake shooting at the Sergeant. He doesn't wound, though. So
CP reroll. We will see it. Looks like he's considering. Nope. I think he's moving on.
No, he can't. He's got to save his CP for Fire and Fade on the other side.
That's right. Yeah, he has to get onto another point, I think, right? Yeah, this Mandrake has so much looking at him right now. There's still the hot shot Scion. There's still Rein.
Oh, he re-rolled it. Oh my
He
lord.
re-rolled it. Okay, so he gets it.
Wounded.
Puts it to the save, and then I think Micro made.
Oh
no,
because
he
needed a 6.
I was thinking
Flesh wound.
Yeah, I was thinking Scion. Whew.
That's a bad play right there. He just gave Micro hold more because Rein is going to scamper onto that objective. So wow, yeah, because he could have prevented hold more by Fire and Fading with that Mandrake over there.
Yeah.
Now Rein, I guess, is going to take a shot on the Mandrake down there. If I was him, I would shoot at the Mandrake that just shot, because that's the only one on an objective.
Either that or the leader, right? Because you're hoping to cut off the head.
Can Rein see the leader? I don't think he can.
No. Oh, he's got him tucked too well, huh? Okay. So he's going to go here. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't like it. He's obscured. It's hard to kill him. Yeah.
I think you go into this boy, and then you pull up onto that objective. Anyway. Oh, no. Wow. So I think he's going to scarper onto this point.
Yeah, I would have held off. Why would he?
I guess he doesn't have to do that now, and doing so makes the charge easier for this Mandrake next turn. So I don't think he does the Fire and Fade here onto the point. Nope. Okay.
Wow. I don't. I mean, first of all, a lot of bad here, in my opinion. First of all, you don't shoot that early with Rein. I don't think. I think you shoot with the hot shot volley guns first. You force Danger to go through some activations. Wait, let Danger maybe shoot this Mandrake before Rein moves down, and then shoot with Rein, because then moving down, as is, if you move down with Rein. Well, if it's too late now, if he moved down with Rein now onto the objective, then the Mandrake gets unobscured shots. But if you wait until after the Mandrake has already fired, then you can move down safely. So now he could be getting hold more, but he's not going to.
Okay. So very interesting stuff here.
So I mean, now he's not going to get shot at all. But yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was saying we're only going to see a hold 1 from both players here. That is very interesting. I had assumed a very different result. Remember at the beginning of this, I was saying I thought Micro would have hold 3 by the end of this. And then this guy's still going to get to shoot wherever Rein is right here. So where he moved Rein isn't necessarily the best.
Is there anybody that can shoot Rein?
I think the Mandrake he's measuring with right now.
I don't think he can. Oh, maybe he can.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's going to be
that's another mistake then. He could have easily avoided that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be long range obscured though, but still where he's placed here, I don't know about that. I don't know why he would have moved him there. I guess he was worried about the Mandrake rerolling charges next turn. I would have tried to take him out. I would have waited to shoot with Rein, shoot the hot shot, try to take this Mandrake out, and try to get Rein to shoot and plops with Scarper onto that point for the cheeky hold more.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of options when you wait on Rein. Yeah, the board state wasn't solved enough, I guess, or whatever, to have made that, perhaps.
Nightfiend is putting some long-range shots onto the Scion Heavy Gunner.
He gets a hit.
Gets a hit. Wounds on a 3.
3 gets it. AP 1. So
5 up.
be a 5 up.
Doesn't get it.
So 5 up to kill him.
Yep.
Unless Micro's going to re-roll.
Oh, he's popping fight for your life. So this is going to be a 6 to kill him.
Yep. So he's popping that. It's going to be a 6. So fight for your life, for those that are unfamiliar, is an additional -1 to the injury roll. They pay a CP tactic. It's unique to the Imperial Guard. It's an amazing tactic. It's like a reverse reanimation protocols or something. All right. So hot shot volley. This will be interesting. We'll see if he can take away the hold 1. If he kills this guy, he gets hold more by virtue of simply holding an objective and danger holding none.
Yeah. Now
So
the
here we
hot shot
go.
is going to shoot down at that Mandrake. I think he should have done this earlier, but
Yeah, I think he wanted to see how it went here with this Mandrake, and then move Rein onto there. Oh,
he again
Completely whiffs.
never seen him whiff with these, and he's whiffed multiple times. This is the Dangerfro effect. Your dice can't be good against Dangerfro.
we might be seeing like the bell curve catch up with Micro because he traditionally seems to be able to hit those 6s in clutch moments. And
Yeah.
that has not been the case tonight. That's big. He wanted this guy dead.
I mean, yeah, if Micro can't get a single kill here, this is a really good turn 1 for Danger. And that's what it looks like right now. I mean, it's been really unfortunate.
Yeah, because he's got
dice-wise for him.
Yeah, he's only got a Guardsman and a Flamer left to shoot. Really, I don't think the hot shot that's readied here can see anybody. So are we going to see Mandrake take shots? No, this guy already shot, I thought. Okay.
The Mandrake in the middle left has not shot.
Okay. So somebody's going to take a comms, it looks like?
Yeah, comm specialist is going to put their Splinter rifle shots into that same flesh wounded Scion heavy shot.
If he gets
hot
the
shot
kill
volley
here,
gun. Oh my gosh, I can never say that name.
that's it. So we get to save from Micro. If he gets a kill and Micro doesn't, that's really big. Oh no, Micro failed to save. Here we go. Going to the injury roll, needing a 5 up. And is that still active?
I think
it does not stay active. So he's dead.
He's dead. Yep, because he already had a flesh wound. It would have been a 5. Takes it down to the 4 with -1. So he is dead, and that was not a specialist, right? So
no.
So it's not going to give the high profile, but he's going to get kill 1. He's going to get hold 1. And Micro is not going to get kill 1. He's only going to get hold 1. I don't think he's got a lot of secondaries. Oh, there's still hope here, but it's just
he gets a shot with the
Here's the 6s. Out of plain Guardsman, we're going to see a kill. There we go. So he owes him a 5 up.
Doesn't get it.
Misses. 6 up.
6 up time.
Misses. Nope. So he needs a 5 to kill him. Let's see if Micro can spike this.
Nope.
No.
Ooh, that was big. Okay, that was almost a that was a butt pucker moment right there. So is it just me or no? Because Micro's going to have domination. I was going to say I think Danger could come up a little bit on there. Okay.
Oh boy.
This flesh wounded boy here. This could be big.
10 on 5,
long range, unobscured. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 on 5s. Let's see it. Nope.
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Man.
Whew. So kill 1 to Danger. Kill 1 does not go to Micro. They're both going to get hold 1. Micro's going to get domination for being in the center.
Yep.
Yeah. The clock is ticking on Danger. He has next turn to kill the leader, or he can't max that. So that'll be an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, I don't think that he will. I mean, if he kills the leader, it's not going to be till after turn 2, I bet.
Yeah, and that might cost the game because it's looking close here, and it's like if you've sacked that and just not been able to get it through like reserve shenanigans or something like that, that is super rough because in a close game, you have a secondary that you don't score anything on. That's just rough. So it's a jackpot objective.
It's funny how we're talking about how bad that round was, but just because of how horrible the dice were for Micro that round, and it's still 2-2.
Yeah. No, but that's why I was saying it's important to note that Danger cannot max if he doesn't get it this turn on cut off the head, because like a close game where all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, it was close. It stops being close when one of the players has a 0 for their secondary, one of the secondaries.
Yeah.
So it definitely is. It is the epitome of a jackpot objective. Ooh,
Micro's going to go first.
Yep.
So does Micro want to go first here? What do you guys think?
Yeah, because like he wants to do this charge here with the sergeant probably into the Mandrake before the Mandrake can charge him.
But there's an easy counter charge from the Klaviex.
That's true, actually.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you want to do that.
That is rough. That's a good point. I forgot about that guy back there. Oh, interesting stuff. Yeah, I think Danger really wanted to go first or go second here.
Yeah, I think it was a misplay from Micro to not move the sergeant onto the other side. Like kind of
Absolutely.
same, because then he could move that guy there, not going to get shot in all likelihood. And then after he shoots at the Rouse, he could scamper just a little bit down and then get a gauge on all fronts.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, they are still going on about chess clocks in that Twitch chat.
Yeah. I like the idea of chess clocks. I think it should be for like a round total. Round shouldn't last more than an hour 45 minutes, even for kill team. That may be a lot.
Yeah.
That's just
So-
my personal opinion. And then whatever 145 divided by 2 is, that's how much each player
Yeah.
has to actually play the game.
Agreed. So we're going to see a decisive here. But no, I think that, like, for example, a round timer isn't very fair to just say to somebody, oh, you get 90 minutes. Because if one player is taking up a lot of that and then it goes to time and you got, like, that is every game I've gone to time on.
Absolutely.
I have felt the other person got the lion's share of that. And so it's interesting to actually have a marker on that and be like, no, wow, maybe I wasn't as quick as I thought, or something to that effect.
Oh, there's a decisive move happening here. This Mandrake is going to try and charge the leader. And just
okay.
everybody.
Here we go.
So I think the leader should be able to fall back and make this basically an impossible charge while still keeping himself relatively safe from other shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, you can re-roll this turn as Drukhari, but you can't roll more than 12 on 2d6. So
yeah, not quite that.
Yeah, so it's a 14-inch charge. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I see Tim in the chat saying fix bayonets from the sergeant into a Klaviex charge. He's got a Chainsword. That's 3 attacks, hitting on 5s because of a flesh wound, wounding on 3s, 0 AP. That's not going to do anything against Klaviex.
Yeah,
don't.
AP 3, I mean, a 3-up save, you got to have some AP in that. Like, people think volume of dice is going to do it, and I'll tell you, I've been running numbers on Mandrakes with 5 and 6 attacks, depending on specialism, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, and they don't quite get to expected injury rolls against a Marine and stuff. So,
Frag grenade Overwatch into the Mandrake right now, and he gets one of them.
Ooh, gets one of them.
One's on a 4. Doesn't even get it.
Okay.
And now we're probably going to see. He's re-rolling the. He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. Yeah.
I mean, I think you just, if he's going to go into that sergeant, that's okay. You can fix bayonets there, and that's fine.
Yep. So he is going to re-roll it. It looks like he already
Ooh,
docked the CP.
He gets
he gets it. All right, puts it to a save, which there's no AP on. It was just a
not that it matters, Mandrake.
Grenade. Yeah, that's true.
So he got it.
5 up and a 6 up. Come on, let's see what you get. So 5 up. Misses. Look for a 6 or a reroll.
Does he reroll it? I don't think so.
Yeah, 5 up is hard to reroll, man. It's like a coin flip where one side is weighted a little bit more than the other. It's like it just drops straight down. Right. Oh, he's going to do it.
He is rerolling.
All right, let's see what he gets. He's docked the CP.
It's getting dicey.
5.
Nope.
Oh,
here comes the feel no pain.
6. Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
4 up.
4 up to kill.
Micro get this? He gets it.
Here's those 6s. He's coming
there
back.
They are. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's big.
That's going to swing back, right? Because he got some really unfortunate dice in that first round.
Yeah, bastard into the bell curve has cleared. The dust has settled, and now Micro is back to his 6s. When and where he needs them.
And that was the decisive move too. Andy rerolled 6. Danger just used 2 CP just to get blown up like that. That's unfortunate.
That is feel bads. That is some feel bads.
Well, in my experience, Danger has been on the good side of feel bads quite a few times now.
Yeah,
So,
I missed your guys' TAO game, sadly. But yeah, it's looking. That was a big thing to have happened for Micro, to take 2 CP and a guy off the point, the 1 point that was being held. All right,
Gotfret
so
trying to charge over onto these guys. I mean, it's kind of an easy choice, I think, because if you don't make the charge, you just sit there and score domination.
for sure. Yeah, there's
and
no
you
sense
might
in
bait out.
that distance.
Yeah, and you might bait out a fallback or something unwise.
Yeah. So it's going to have to be a long bomb, though. He's going to need. Hopefully, he didn't use all of his 6s, right?
Yeah, he would need a 10 to get onto the Kabalite gunner, which isn't that crazy. Unlikely, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go.
Overwatch.
So
Ooh, doesn't quite get it.
Okay. Nope.
Now here comes the charge. Looks like the sniper's staying still.
And
An
8?
8?
Is not gonna do it.
Yeah, he needed a 9.
Yep. And he has a CP to reroll. I doubt we'll see that.
Nope, he can't reroll because he already. Oh, he
Oh,
can't
that's
do
right.
that. What he's doing right now, he can't do. Well,
He declared this guy as part of a charge, so he just has to
But what-
head towards the right.
he would no. He'd have to end as close as possible, which I think would be going down this way, right?
To the Sybarite? Over to the side?
No, to the Kabalite gunner. Did he declare this? Oh, he might have, just in case.
Yeah, I think he declared the Sybarite. Because I saw him pinging down here. Could be wrong.
He looks like he's charging with the sergeant.
Yeah. Yeah,
if he
I don't
did,
like
if he did
sergeant.
declare this, oh yeah. If he did declare the Sybarite, that's a really good play because it opens him up
Yeah.
to walk onto that objective.
Yeah, I think that's what he did. I don't like this sergeant going into the Klaviex. I really don't. He's got a flesh wound on that sergeant. It has no AP. I guess he has an order, but to move into position to give that guy an order for fixed bayonets, it's going to be maybe exposing the leader, which is a secondary, and you just got so much writing on that guy as guard. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
3 points and command points every round, and my orders. So you gotta baby that thing. You know, you gotta walk around with him in your pocket because you can't have him getting shot, man.
Although he wants a combat, right? Because that way he can up and at him with Gotfret.
For sure, that's true. Ooh, that would be interesting because he could get into this flesh-wounded Mandrake, but we don't know that Mandrake's going to end up staying there, right? Danger still hasn't moved. That Mandrake's going to be on this point over here.
That's true.
I feel like.
Yeah, though, and if you charge that sergeant in, you're basically offering up kill 1 to Danger.
Yeah.
So
he rolled a charge. Yeah, he got it too. He's got a 9, so I think he can get into either one.
Yeah, he definitely can.
4, 5, yep. And that just leaves a Kabalite, but now Kabalite's free to waltz onto this point, potentially.
I guess there's something to be said that he is locking down the Klaviex for now. He can't do anything else this round. How valuable that is, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that just today. It was like, oh, okay, there's an Infiltrator Princeps combat. Okay, eat one of my little TAO guys. Here, you can eat them. You can have them. Just don't charge all my guys. So that does simplify the position a little bit for Micro, because now he can fairly safely get Rouse on there to take another little bit of a lead, if possible.
I feel like if I'm the Drukhari player and he moves Rouse onto that objective, I'll actually just charge Rouse with the Kabalite warrior.
With the Kabalite, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 1 attack, weapon skill 3, but it's wounding on a 3 because toughness 2.
Yep.
Versus strength 3. I mean, I would happily do that.
Yeah, it's the same as like having strength 5 against a T4.
Yeah. Oh, now he's moving up that hotshot volley gun so he can poke his head up over and maybe actually get unobscured shots from the tower.
Yeah. I like how the Kabalite is still just looking at that point. So powerful what you can do in deployment, man. Just like this, here's this guy that was set up. He has not made a move in this game other than to be put on the board. And look at this desert over here for Micro. We call this this objective.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
being
here's
held up.
Rein.
Ooh, he's getting frisky, huh?
Yeah, he's not going to move him into a spot where the Darklands can see him, but
Yeah. What's he doing though? I'm wondering why what is the that's what he's doing. He's covering this side objective. He's trying to make it to where Mandrake here, when he moves onto this point, will get shot. And he's covering his domination.
yeah. He's setting himself up nicely for engage on all fronts this round.
Yep. Yeah, that was really smart with the Gotfret thing, considering that as well. Because like the upsides on that were so high, you know.
Yeah, it's just a no-brainer when you think about it, but it's the kind of thing that you might not think about doing, I guess.
Yeah, like a statistical 7-inch charge just opened up so many things. It's like, okay, that's potential engage on the front. I could make a charge. It gets me on a point. That's potential up and atom threat. You know, just like that did a lot. And Gotfret over to that side.
So there's not going to be any fire and fade stuff from Danger. He's already totally out.
Dude,
of,
that's
command
crazy.
points.
Yeah, it's good that he's going second, and that's the case, right? Because now he can counterpunch that way. He's got the initiative to kind of flex that a little bit.
You know what could be interesting is we could see. I bet we're going to see. I mean, it's interesting when you think about the fixed bayonets option. I think in order for the leader to get close enough to order fixed bayonets, he'd probably have to put himself in some danger relative to where that Darklance is. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like he's not going to get to do that without exposing the leader, because that 12-inch range or whatever, he would have to move into shot range. Yeah. So I don't think he's going to fix bayonets with that flesh wounded limping sergeant that he just got into combat with. No, still an interesting game here in round 2, I think. This is going to be, if this goes 3 games, these players are going to be so exhausted, man.
Yeah.
Because this is only turn 2.
So he's still got to figure out what he's doing with this area in the corner. It looks like he's going to advance a flamer.
Uh-huh.
So that's 9 inches.
Yep. And Micro has some of the best play with flamers that we see in the game today, I think. He's always using them, and he knows how to use them. He uses them like more effective than other people. Or effectively would be the right word.
That's not a good place for that flamer to be.
He's preempting, I think. He's preempting the move. He's saying, you cannot come on this objective, which is an interesting thing.
Now imagine this. He sets him there as if to bait Danger to just ready up the Darklance, and then he orders move to get him out of there.
That would be sick. And that's what he's probably doing. He's got him in range of the leader. He can just be like, move, boom, and get onto that point. And he'd still be able to flame. If
well, no, if he does move, he can't shoot.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It's instead of shooting.
Can the Darklance see him? Yeah, he can definitely see him.
Yeah, easily.
No worries. And he's still got that he can move. That Danger can move to the side to pump that a little bit. It's only one shot,
Yeah.
Getting into that gunner was pretty big.
Yeah.
The other one, the Shredder.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this Darklance might not get to shoot the entire game.
Yep. That's a good thing for Micro.
Yeah.
Yep. Darklance, if they can see you, they can delete you. It doesn't matter what you are. Unless maybe Gotfret, right? So you can just invuln it off.
Yeah.
The AP4 D6 damage is just killer on that range. So it does look like Rouse is considering moving that objective, in which case I wonder if we'll see Danger do what you were talking about, Shane, and just charge him on there.
Yep.
Uh-oh. I just got booted.
Oh. Yeah, so he moves Rouse down onto that objective. So now there is an out of LOS charge from the Kabalite Warrior, which I think he should do. That seems really easy to me. You go in there, you probably kill Rouse. Only one attack, but it's hitting on a 3, wounding on a 3 against a 6-up save. Pretty good odds there that you kill him. I think that's a mistake. I think if I was Micro, I would have just stood there, shot, and then scarpered. Or at least if I get charged, right, he gets an Overwatch.
Yeah, because you could ready and shoot with initiative, where even if that Kabalite ready, you would shoot first. And the pistol that he has is not bad against the Kabalite Warrior chassis.
Yeah, strength 4.
So he could ready, pop that guy, and if he readied in response, he would not have LOS on Rouse after the shoot, sharp, and scarper onto the point. Here we go. We're seeing a ping. It looks like Danger is moving into his phase now. We got an advance.
Yeah, Fleshman and Mandrake is advancing.
Yep. So he is in his DZ now, it looks like.
Yeah, it took a while, but he got there.
Taking shots from a guardsman.
Yeah. It's good to get there now, right? Because he can still max after not having that turn 1. If you keep that guy alive. Oh, and he's just out. He's got to be wholly within.
Yeah, he's not in it.
Oh, boy.
That's the guardsman that
he hasn't used his Drukhari reroll, I don't think. He did have a little bit more movement, too. He only measured like 9.8 inches, I thought.
Yeah, he just didn't want to have shots on him. But he will be obscured. He will be the -1 for being a Mandrake. So a little guardsman shouldn't be that bad. Again, though, we're talking about you're going against Micro. You expect the 6s.
Yeah, that guardsman, he almost killed something last round, don't forget. So, he's itching for the fight.
Yeah. It was that Mandrake.
He's looking for that
forward,
promotion.
Angry now.
Yeah, he sees that the sergeant is in trouble down here, perhaps, and he's anticipating that promotion.
Yeah, and Uzical pointed out to me just now the shotgun or the hot shot volley gun heavy now has a shot on that Mandrake because he scooted forward.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Whether or not
he already has a flesh wound, so it'll be a 4 to take him out, even in cover.
Whether or not Micro realizes that, we don't know, but yeah.
You know what's interesting? Oh, he doesn't have any. I was going to say, Drukhari have that thing to where you can be an additional -1. So obscured, Mandrake, and the +1 would be -3 to hit. But yeah.
All right. So that Kabalite sniper has moved.
Ooh, spicy. So we're going to see some hot shot versus Dark Lance action. But he placed it within 12 inches. It looked like if you're measuring 3D. Oh, it is just out.
Oh, maybe it's close.
Yeah, it looked like it was on when they first measured. It looked like it was bang on 12, which would be not what you want to do. You want to be
just out. And he can scoot anyway. I'll back a little bit. If I'm sure they're measuring it right now. So
yeah. Oh, I got kicked again. I don't know what is going on.
No problem. We got it under control.
Yeah. So moving the Kabalite, the Kabalite gunner with that Dark Lance, if he's going to be shooting at that hotshot volley gunner, he'll be shooting at a -2 penalty because of moving and then the target being obscured.
Nope, because remember Flayed Skull, so he's ignoring that penalty.
That's right.
True.
So just the -1 from that, which will get offset by the comms. So he's still going to have a +6 skill 3.
Yep.
Yep. The comms is moving up to buff him now.
Yeah, but with move, and
one.
Yeah, with move, and then Scarper, he can still deny those shots from the Dark Lance.
Yeah, just depends on what he does with his leader here.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I see tokens on the leader already. Has Micro moved his leader?
Micro's finished
must have, because his turn's over.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Danger's turn to move. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Micro's leader can. Oh no, it's just within 12 inches. He doesn't need line of sight. That's right.
Yeah. So we gotta see Drukhari move to take this point, I think, because the way that Gotfret is, this is now off limits to you.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna, when you think about it, the the Darklance will get a shot provided it survives
Yes.
Rein or the hotshot volley gun, because he can Scarper with Rein, he can move with the Flamer, but I believe the Darklance can see the hotshot volley gun up top.
Yep.
Maybe not.
It'll be obscured, but he's Flayed Skull, so doesn't worry about that. He's got that 18-inch half range, and he's at 12.1. So he'll be short range. He'll take the
Yeah.
comms, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm looking at Micro. He's making a go of it, but he probably didn't expect this list.
Yeah. Shane, do you think that the Kabalite subfaction that ignores the penalty to long range is better on this terrain than Flayed Skull?
I don't think it's better for the Darklance because
Mhm.
the range is so long. It would
Yeah.
certainly be better for the Shredder and for like a blaster. I thought about that a little bit, but
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely prefer the Flayed Skull for the Darklance, which is going to be your best shooting weapon.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a flat +1 on there, but this board, it's so hard to get obscurity, and just saying no to it at all is just pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I squeaked in and I got it. Nope. So we are going to see an advance from the Mandrake. He needs a
Mandrake's
4.
he can't get on that point.
He needs a 4. Oh, he rolled. What did he roll?
He rolled a 4, but I don't think a 4 is actually going to get him there. That's 11 right there.
Okay.
Did he use the Drukhari reroll?
No.
It's hard to get better than a 4. Like, you're afraid to reroll past a 4.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
Looks like he's just going to take that. I mean, he's still at another inch, but I guess he wants to stay obscured. There goes the Sybarite right behind him.
Yeah.
Is that Sybarite within 4 inches of Gotfret?
He is. It looks
Gotta
like
be.
a 3-inch would take him in. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting phase, guys. This is once we get into offense, dice are going to say a lot about this game. Okay. So he's looking for what he can do with his Kabalite warrior now. That placement of the flamer really probably has danger.
Actually, I don't think that the sniper can see the flamer anymore. So
because he moved. Yep.
So now he doesn't have to worry about move. So there's other things that he can do here. I don't know I think he should charge Rouse with that Kabalite warrior. I think he should do it.
Yeah, that would be that's what I would do. If I've done it with a Pathfinder or a shield drone or something, I think you could get away with that with a Kabalite gunner against tough 2. Yeah, he's got just enough to get through there, I think. What's he doing? A normal move to shoot at Rein?
Maybe Rein, I guess. Yeah, we love that wounding on 4s against Rattlings.
Woo! That means it's a strength 2 gun at that point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at that point, you just let him.
Yeah.
Ryan's going to shoot at the sniper, and then he's going to Scarper out of line of sight of the sniper, hopefully, if he can. And then he'll say, "Go ahead, shoot me with your Splinter rifle. I don't care. It's strength 2, basically."
Yeah, because he could move down and still be on that point, still have domination, and deny shots on the Kabalite with a free shoot, sharp, and Scarper, aka shoot, scoop, and boogie. Shoot, scoop, and boogie.
I can't not see Rein or Rouse without wearing cowboy hats after you guys have started calling it shoot, scoot, and boogie.
Okay, so he's decided to do move in the Flamer. I don't know why. I mean, before the Darklance moved, it was smart, but after the Darklance moved, there's no cause for it. He might as well re-roll ones on the hotshot polygon or something.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep.
He didn't have to do that at all. It makes you wonder if sometimes players will get this idea and they'll commit to it, and then factors will change, but they're still kind of stuck on that initial idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what happened here with Micro, but yeah.
Yeah, because you're thinking about so much, right? And it's like you've already kind of decided on that while the other player's moving, that you maybe are locked into it, like you were saying.
I mean, I guess what he does there is obscure Rein from the
True.
Kabalite Warrior, which I don't think Rein needs that much help against the Kabalite Warrior.
But he did just give shots on a Flamer, which is a very valuable piece in this matchup. Because -1 on a Mandrake or something like that.
Next turn, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the order.
Okay.
Interested to see what happens first. So, I mean, the first shot is going to come from Micro here.
Yeah, we got to see that leader go down. Come on, Danger. Pressure's on.
I mean, it's got to be Rein. I don't even think, does Danger have a shot on the leader anywhere? I don't think he does.
Oh, I thought he had.
I believe he does with the. I mean, he would have line of sight with the Mandrake, but that Mandrake only has 18-inch range for the Bale Blast.
Yeah,
so
true.
I don't think he's going to have a shot.
No way. Not even close.
Yeah.
Yep. So what are we seeing? It looks like Sybarite might shoot Gotfret. I don't think that's the first move you want to see.
Hotshot Volley Gun is going to shoot at the Kabalite gunner.
Oh, and he is within 12, they're saying.
Oh, my lord. He missed again completely.
Oh, okay.
Good lord.
And that's good night, potentially, in the counter sniper game.
Well,
now it might change, right? Because... Wow,
he's going to shoot back.
He's going to shoot back at him.
Shoot back. I think you go for Rein here. I think you're supposed to go for Rein.
Ooh, does that hit?
I think it hits.
Oh, he's ignoring
security, and he's +1.
He's got the comms.
And that's a wound. There's not a save. No save, yep.
Oh,
6 damage.
Woo! And he still needs
a
5 here. Does still need a 5, even though he ignores the penalty.
Got it.
He got it. So that is another kill.
That's a specialist.
Yep, and it's a specialist.
That is.
I'm not sure why you don't shoot Rein there.
I think you shoot Rein there. You take a point, you take domination, you get a specialist, you get a kill 1. That's a 4-point swing right there.
Yeah. I think it was just kind of the thing you were talking about a little bit where we saw Micro move the Flamer. It's players get these ideas in their head, and then it's hard to kind of shake that when you're pre-planning it.
Yeah. I mean, he's still thinking, okay, I have shots with the Kabalite comms. Maybe he was thinking, okay, that's a bigger threat, and it is going to be a kill 1 and a specialist for high profile, but that's 2 points versus 4. And the way that this is, it would be really nice to take domination from Micro here. And be like, okay, you have to maybe move your Flamer there next turn, or put Gotfret back, because that's pretty much the options you have at that point.
Yeah,
and none of that is good for Micro.
Looks like Ryan's going to take his shot now.
Yep, he's going to go into the leader.
I think so, yeah.
So
that's going to be hitting on a 4, re-rolling. Gets it.
Gets it.
Wounds on a 3, 6 is immortal, and he's re-rolling these as well.
Yep, because of Rouse.
That's immortal.
That's
immortal. Okay,
now
so
is that mortal in addition?
In addition, yes. So if he gets the 6, then he still has to make a save.
He gets a 6. Yep, doesn't get that. So 1 damage injury, 4, 5, 5 up to kill.
Gets him.
Oh my god!
Ooh. I guess he should have gone. Should have taken cut off the head, I guess. I was thinking earlier that it was a bit odd that Danger was playing so aggro with his leader, considering he doesn't know if Micro has cut off the head.
Yeah,
like he didn't know. So you have to wonder, I don't know, maybe that was a little aggro. Obviously, it worked out. He doesn't have cut off the head, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan is just going to shimmy.
He's
still on domination. I guess he's not going to be on that objective.
Which is what I would have hoped for the
not
shooting.
That it matters.
Kind of gave that. Yeah. But it does take away the more as things currently stand.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, because right, he's already got 2 objectives to Danger 0 and Danger can't fire and fade, so
That's true.
doesn't
Yeah,
really
I was
matter.
still mentally thinking there was a Mandrake over to this side one. Stupid. My mistake. Yep, so Micro is going to have 0 on the primary so far. No, he did get a kill on the hot shot. So he'll have a 1 on the primary. 2.
He's going to get hold more. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was saying danger. Saying Micro meaning Danger.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, Danger just lost his leader. He's not going to have hold 1. I think this one goes to him. Next turn's only going to be 1 CP. Micro's still got 1. Yeah, it's not looking good at this point. I think we've seen the turn, fellas. So Micro did take back his decision and go here.
This denies a shot maybe from somebody, or at least makes an unobscured shot somewhere. Or rather, an obscured shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think that the comms has a shot on Rein anymore. Maybe.
Yeah, he gives him an obscurity to the Splinter rifle and the Sybarite, I suppose.
Obscurity is a big... Yeah, I was going to say obscurity is a big deal for Rein because he takes an additional -1 when he's obscured.
Yeah.
Actually, but they're Flayed Skull.
Oh, you're right.
I totally wasn't thinking about that. So, yep.
Guess that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If there was a Mandrake shooting at him, it would.
Yeah, and so that matters because the way he just moved, yes, he will take a penalty 5 up for the out of action, but he's within half range of the Splinter rifle on the Sybarite. Okay, so now we're seeing Mandrake into that hero Guardsman who's looking for the upgrade to Sergeant at the end of this.
Mandrake's sitting on 5s because he advanced and he has a flush wound.
Yep, so 5s.
Gets 1.
Gets 1. Wounds on a 3, 6 is immortal. Gets the wound, AP 1, it's going to be a 6. Micro and
Micro.
6 strike again. Oh no.
Absolute Chad.
And that is not good for that Mandrake, to be honest, because he could throw a grenade at him with that little wee Guardsman.
Oh, that's right. They have frag grenades.
Yep.
It's interesting because I feel like from the hand of the Guardsman, you can pretty much see the whole Mandrake, but like the Mandrake's like knuckles. He's like white knuckling his
yeah, I literally think
sword.
he's obscured just with his hand. Yeah.
Like not even his hand, just his knuckles. Like the tips of his
Yeah.
There we go. It's D6. He gets a 6 again. Oh, that's a dead Mandrake. Later, guys.
Man,
well, maybe,
this is crazy.
No, 5s because of obscurity, possibly. So that's 3.
Oh man.
So at least 3. So they did count it as obscured. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. No,
and that's going to be good enough. No? Oh, because it's only strength 3. Strength 3, tough 3. Yep. All right.
Man.
You got a CP, Micro. Come on.
No,
I would re-roll that. Come on. You're only looking for a coin flip.
And that's why I wouldn't CP it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Something.
Oh, this is the Phantasm grenade launcher. He's trying to reduce the leadership on Rein or something.
Okay.
Actually, wounds on a 6 against Rein because it's strength 1.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Nothing.
Nope.
What?
I've never actually seen anyone use the Phantasm grenade launcher.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is being rolled here.
Well,
I'm lost. So something looks like a hit.
I guess he took a wound from the grenade.
Okay.
I feel like Danger just rolled 50 dice. And then...
Yeah. I don't know what that was. So Rein just takes a wound down to 1. Okay.
Shocking that he even took a wound from that weapon.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think next round? You think Gotfret's going to come into that Kabalite comms? Just easy thing? Does he stay on that point?
I think Gotfret might go into that Sybarite this turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, the comms might be closer, so he can't.
That's why he banked the 1 CP. You're right. He's got the 1 CP banked for up and at him. He's going to move into Sybarite after he fights with his Sergeant. So that Sergeant sacrifice there locked those 2 up, and he's not even really caring that the Klaviex is going to nuke him because that's going to let him move into the Sybarite. Okay, so we're seeing another shot here. Kabalite Warrior,
Just
long
one.
range. Yep, long
Doesn't
range
get it.
sniper. Okay. Doesn't get it. So now I think we're going into fight phase pretty quick here. Yep, fight phase. Here we go. We're going to see Sergeant Chainsword and Kabalite.
He's ignoring the Klaviex. That's the right thing to do. He's hitting on 5s.
This is the right thing to do. So hitting on 5s, 3 attacks. Nope. Didn't get it. So he goes goodnight. Here comes the CP for up and Adam. I would guess from Gotfret.
We'll see. Well, I don't know if the closest model to Gotfret is now the Kabalite comms, which he can't really get to.
Oh, good point.
I don't even know if Danger meant to do that, but if so, that's what's happening, and that's kind of denying. So he's doing up and Adam. I mean,
yeah. I don't know if he's considering that the vertical movement would put this guy further away.
Yeah, they shouldn't be, because that's not how you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's hard because there's no guidance. Like, oh, do it as the crow flies or this and that. So we're saying he would be in with that 3-inch, which we knew he would. He's within 1, so now if they're calling that good, he's going to swing on the Sybarite.
He's in there.
And that's going
to there'd be intervening terrain, so it's hitting on 4s.
Yep. So 5 on 4s. I don't think he gets the exploding 6s here. Is that unmodified?
I am not sure.
So we'll count that as 2 hits. Wounding on 3 gets the 1. No, wounding on 3s.
Yeah, cuts right through, so he gets a feel no pain.
Yep. 6 up F and P.
Doesn't get it.
No.
4, 5,
Injury.
6.
Flesh wound.
Flesh wound.
And then Sybarite's going to hit back, I would assume. Although,
consolidate. He should consolidate because the Sybarite can hit back and get on that point.
Oh, that's right. So he's going to swing around.
Then that would deny hold more.
And then, so the Sybarite would not have intervening terrain if he piles in, gets a hit, and then consolidates onto that objective. Dude. And we didn't see it.
He's not piling in.
Well, he's not fighting yet. He's not fighting with that guy yet.
Oh, he's doing the Klaviex. Okay. Yep, so Klaviex gets 1. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound.
That's 3 damage.
Oh, that's 3 damage.
Yep, goes straight through, no save.
Needs a 3. Gets him.
Got it.
Boom. And then he can pile in towards that. Yep. Okay. All right, Danger, let's see your stuff, dude. Do you have the fundamentals? Are you going to pile in first towards the objective and consolidate ending on it? This is your time to show. This is the time to show like you belong here in this final. You know what I mean? Like he could be doing this right now. I think I'm excited to see what he does here.
That's a massive blunder from Micro. I mean, I just want to highlight that. He's not getting anything by standing exactly right here. So there's no reason not to consolidate after fighting.
Base to base. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. He's not.
Oh my god.
Doing it. Here we go, guys.
Wait.
We're seeing that Danger's a good player here.
He's just moving him just enough so he doesn't get the the terrain.
Now let's see if he consolidates.
Does he? Yep. Does he consolidate onto that point? Come on, Danger. Come on, Danger.
I don't think he is.
No, he didn't see it.
Oh.
Okay.
Missed opportunity on missed opportunity there.
Yeah, that was poor play right there.
Okay. All right. So another high profile for Danger on that one for killing the sniper. He is not going to take any holds. Dude, that is such a big thing to miss there.
And Micro gets hold more. He
gets hold more because of that. Yep. He would have denied a point and been up a point on that. Damn. So we're seeing a nerve test, I believe.
I think it's fine.
So that'll be recon sweep.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Domination again. Engage on all fronts comes down, so that's the 7th point.
That's why he didn't pile in. No, because he still could have had it.
Yeah, it didn't even affect it. I was thinking about that, and it doesn't matter. So 7-5 right now. Could be 6-6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so a hell of a round 2. And we're going to go to initiative. Yep, Danger only gets the 1 CP from his dead leader. And Micro will be going first. Will we see a decisive?
Yeah. So was just taking a look at chat. Was it Micro who won initiative here?
Yeah, Micro won initiative here.
So
We still aren't sure if there's going to be a decisive. He's got 1 CP. His leader's dead.
Yeah, I think if you're Micro, you take Rouse and you run far away.
It's like, get out of here. Yeah. Oh man. That's upsetting. Fuck, 6 to 6 is what it could have been, guys. We're looking at 7 to 5. This is why the fundamentals matter, guys. Just out of the rule book, not like, oh, that was a super cheesy thing. Like, it's not the roster, you know what I mean? Like all this kind of thing, not a gotcha. Just fundamental play would have meant the difference of 2 points right here.
Nothing about game knowledge. Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's not like gaming the system or anything. Yeah, just remembering to do the stuff. It's so important.
And they're both probably gonna go back and watch this. I know Micro will. So I mean, he's probably gonna be kicking himself for that.
Yeah.
Granted, he didn't end up getting punished for it. So I mean,
yeah, like that was the same last time too. It was the death of the false emperor thing. But he was saying before that he thought that might have cost him one of the games or something like that. Just having with his Heretic Astartes that extra attacks on a 6 or whatever. So Danger's taking a quick break.
Yeah.
All right. So we are.
So I guess let's look at the problems. Yeah, let's look at the problems on the board. How do you solve them for each player? I'd say that Mandrake with the Fleshwind up there, he's kind of a problem. What do you do? Do you just shift that demo hotshot volley gun over?
Yep.
And scoot him back? Maybe try and point a gun at that guy, run the Guardsman away? I don't know.
Yeah, because this Mandrake must be in this deployment zone, and there is no hiding with this wide open backfield here. So you take your hotshot volley gun, move him up to put shots, because that'll at least be 2 turns to get onto him to stop the max. So the first one you're going to take -1 from your move, but after that you're able to ready and get on him. Big problem for Danger is the lack of holding objectives right now. He must get butts in seats. He has to get on those points.
Yeah. I mean, there is something to say that getting rid of the hotshot volley guns makes it a lot easier to do that.
Yeah.
It's suddenly not such an impossible task.
Yeah, it's crunch time here too. This is turn 3. He is no longer able to max. Danger, I should say, is no longer able to max because of
cut off the head.
The cut off the head. Yep.
Yeah, he can only get 2 points.
If he scored everything on the primaries, the next 2, he's still able to max the primary, which is going to be key for him because now he's down a point on whatever it's called. And Micro going into here, he must have engage on all fronts the next 2 rounds. So his guys are a little handcuffed in terms of possibility. All right, so we're seeing pings. I don't know if that means Danger's back.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, he's moving his mouse, so he's back now.
Okay, so it's like, look at Gotfret here. Gotfret must stay in this quadrant. Oh, sorry, what were we saying, Ryan?
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity to answer a question we had in chat. Somebody was asking about what fundamentals we were referencing when talking about the pile in and consolidate with Gotfret. Those pile in and consolidate, those are described in the fight phase section of the Kill Team Core rulebook if you want more information on those and how those work.
Yep. Just look at the rules for the fight
Ooh.
phase.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's he just locked up the Darklands with a flamer.
Yep.
Charge.
Oh, that is a pro strat. Pro strat.
Big move.
Great move.
But yeah, guys, just look at the rule book and look at the sequence for fight. We think about fight, like people think that that's actually making attacks, but there's so much to that phase. There's pile in, declare targets, you know what I mean? Choose your weapons, all of these little things, like choosing weapons. What if you
Yeah.
don't want a guy to die? Did you know that you could just slap fight, that you just say, I'm going to use my strength base user 1 damage weapon that every model has? Because if you have a
Yeah.
strength 3 power, strength 9 power fist guy or whatever, but you don't want this guy to die, like you just want to hold him in there so that maybe you don't get shot next turn or something like that. You just slap fight,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, okay, instead of being strength 9, I'm going to be strength 4 or whatever. Things like that. That's a fundamental thing. Also, the pile in, the consolidate afterwards. You have 6 inches of movement available to you, finagling here and there in the movement phase.
All right,
in the fight
Cultists,
phase,
welcome
that is
back to
part
Bearded
of that
40K.
fight sequence. So fight isn't just make attacks. That's why it's ruled that you can pile in 3 inches with Up and Atom, which we just saw Gotfret, because it says you may fight with this model. So that includes, if you look at step 1 of fight, it's pile in.
Yeah.
So like there's so much to that sequence. And so that's what, if somebody's interested in learning more about that, reread the manual. Just open it and look at it with fresh eyes as somebody who's watched these games now and played a little bit yourselves. And think about what that could mean for you now, looking at it the second time or third time, whatever, at this point in your career.
Yeah, I think it's interesting here too. We saw fallback from Gotfret Smart onto the objective.
Yeah. Gotfret must stay on that quadrant, so he's not going anywhere really.
And if Mike or if Danger rather wants to fall back his Sybarite onto the top objective to make sure he holds something, then he's risking getting shot by Rein here.
Yeah.
If I'm Micro, I'm taking Rouse and I'm going to move my mouse over the part where I think Rouse should go, and I put Rouse right here so that he's kind of in that quadrant, but he's far away from the Klaviex Zealot.
Let me think here.
Because he's got to get something in that quadrant for engage on all fronts.
Yeah. Do you think that Micro knows at this point that it's cut off the head is the missing, the secondary?
He's gotta, right? Because he knows it's not domination. Danger hasn't even pretended to go for domination at any point. The other opportunity was engage in all fronts, which I suppose he might think it's that, but I don't know.
He would have scored it last round.
Would he have?
I don't think he had any models in this quarter of the board here.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's the missing quadrant. Interesting.
I mean, if I'm playing against Drukhari, I'm expecting engage.
And
just because of their movement, I feel it's one of the easier secondaries for them to score.
All right.
And yeah, it is a thing too where Micro has very obviously been kind of hanging around the leader, making measurements to the leader, moving models to maybe try and get a shot on him. It's just not worked out, and I think maybe you can deduce that just from those little actions.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, so with the thing, because they're still talking about it in chat with the pile-ins and consolidates, it's not that it should necessarily be like, it's not even necessarily a skill. It's like a finesse thing, I guess, is all it is.
Absolutely.
But it's available to every player, so it's just like that little bits of optimal play that you can get in there can make a difference. It would be a 6-6 right now instead of a 7-5.
The leader's gonna pull back even more. Now that leader's really safe.
Yeah, and getting that Darklands charged, that's just, Danger right now. His heart is sinking. Seeing that, here's this guy, he's hiding. That's just, it's pretty sad. Especially having the initiative sequence that you want here in this round. And be like, oh, I get to go second. And oh, I can, position this guy to maybe get shots on the leader. And oh nope, here he is. He got charged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's feel bads as the clock is making itself very known to you, basically. Round timer going down, saying, "Oh, yeah, what turn are we in? Nah, yeah, that secondary is not worth 3 points anymore."
Yeah, I think it's Danger's turn now. I think every model for Micro has already moved.
Yeah.
Um,
No, he's got to do some thinking here. This might be a minute. We might see a bit of a pause. Because he's got to decide some stuff. What's he doing about this? Is he just letting Gotfret have it? Is he going to try to contest? That's a safe contest. Pretty much.
is
for
it
this
though?
round. For
Is it
this
though?
round. Oh, because of fighting, right? Because he did get a charge. That's right. He did get a charge on that Guardsman. So, yep, he's got to be thinking, dude, that would be hilarious if he left that there and then he was able to just go right back in with the same guy.
Yeah. This time he probably kills him too.
No, the closest enemy model is this Kabalite, I believe. So I don't think he can do that.
That didn't stop him last time.
Yeah, last time I didn't see if it was like I'm unable to measure. You know, when you're doing these, you don't want to measure and cue the other player. Yeah, it's like the scientist studying something and variably changes it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're afraid to go on here and mess with stuff too much, but you know, I don't know if that was legal or not. The move sequence was illegal, or was legal for sure.
Yes.
We don't know if that was the closest enemy model with 100% accuracy.
I don't think it was. I don't think that the Sybarite was the closest. I think he should have had to move it the other way, but Danger didn't catch it. It's just like a miss.
Yeah. And also, like, I would totally see the argument that a player would make that would say, no, but there's 2.5 inches added to get over, you know, but I don't think that.
Yeah, even when those barriers were infinitely tall at LVO, they still measured through it.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're measuring movement with that 2.5, but like for auras and things like that, like you are measuring through the terrain usually. So do you guys think that that Danger is going to be able to max all 3 on primaries for the next 2 subsequent rounds? Just back-to-back maxes?
I think he can max recon sweep.
Yes.
But on the primary, because he can still max his primary. Even though he's had a rough couple rounds, he's got 3 on the board for primaries. If he had hold one, or kill one, this round and next round, he does still hit the 9.
Yeah. I guess my answer to that is I think he can max recon sweep.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I don't think he's going to get hold more 2 turns in a row, if at all.
Yeah.
It would be tough. It would be real tough.
Yeah, it's also, having the 2 out. So the Mandrake is a shake risk. If anything else dies, starts to get ugly for him.
Yeah. So you've got that Shredder up there.
Yeah.
He's going to move the Shredder down.
Because right now, this Mandrake, that's his only hope for recon sweep, for being in the enemy DZ, shakes on a 6. If there's, 2 more guys out, it gets to 50-50. It's scary.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we've seen Danger coming up on the positive end of the exchanges. So he's up in terms of models out of action for the other guy.
Yeah, I've never seen Micro's hotshot volley guns miss so much.
Yeah.
And Klaviex.
Okay.
Advancing.
Yep. And another thing to consider here. Oh, that was a bad thing, but he gets to reroll. Okay. Another thing to consider here is that 2 of the 3 hotshot volleys that Micro brought are now sitting on the side of the board.
Yeah.
So he's only got the 1 hotshot left. And that's kind of like the backbone. Those and Gotfret is kind of like the list that Micro's been running.
Yeah.
So Gotfret, his hotshots, and friends, basically. And to only have that one is pretty rough.
You know, since Micro locked up the Darklands, I'm a little disappointed that he didn't turn his hotshot volley gun right here so that the gun was looking around the corner. It would have covered so much more space, and it's not like you're in danger of getting shot by that Darklands anymore.
Yeah.
Now the Klaviex can potentially move into a spot out of LOS.
Now, why do you think that is? The rulebook does say even rotating your model counts as a normal move.
Then move him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, right? Like, who are you so scared of shooting you first?
Well, I don't know if he would
Darklands is
want to
gone?
take a -1 on his hot shot. Do you think
It's
that's
true.
what it is?
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, you got 4 shots. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's thinking.
I'd rather have 4 shots at AP or at -1 than 0 shots, right?
True. Yeah, and especially like what you want to be doing with that guy right now probably isn't readying. It's to start making moves towards the Mandrake, who is risking a max on recon sweep. Like that's the guy who could take that guy out right now.
All right, so the Klaviex with that big advance is only going to go over here. Cabby Gunner is just going to hide behind the Klaviex.
Yeah, so Seymour made the point. It says rules is written you have to measure distances between models base to base. So yeah, so ignoring the terrain would not be a thing. Or I mean, saying like adding the distance for terrain would not be a thing on that.
Yeah.
Because you'd just be like, oh, okay. You know, distance between the warrior comms and Gotfret is like 2.5, and then measure straight up base to base on the Sybarite.
Oh, big advance there from the warrior in the middle. He's just going to sit on that objective.
Yep. Just gonna say, I like pain. Give me all you got, Rein.
Yeah, he says that. Wait until he catches a mortal wound.
Are these tokens left over from last time?
I'm not sure.
No,
I would have liked to see the Klaviex charge Rouse, if possible. I don't know if that was a thing, but
it would have been really far.
so a hell of a game one. We are still in game one, battle round 3.
Yep.
Now, what is going to happen with this comms over here?
Yeah, now that his buddy is
Locked
in
up.
combat. Yeah. I think you've seen a few times now that Micro has domination. He's really close to maxing. This guy is not going to survive. I might charge Rein. Nope, he's not going to do it. He's moving to the side.
Again, man, these Kabalite warriors do a lot of work against when they're wounded on 3s, right?
Yeah.
They do have weapon skill 3.
Yeah, and we are in turn 3, so I mean their melee is hitting on 2.
Yep. So you'll be hitting on 2,
right.
winning on 3. He only has 1 wound left. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
have charged Ryan there and fought to be on that point and taking domination, I think.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good call.
I mean, I say I would have, but when you're in the game and doing this stuff, sometimes you miss things. Like
Yeah, of course.
But ideally, I think that was the play. Okay, so we have Overwatch for something here. Looks like a wound. It's not a save. 6 up invuln. 6 up FNP. I don't even
Is
know
this
what
the Guardsman
what's charging.
firing Overwatch up there? It's got to be the Mandrake into that Guardsman.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's charging right now.
It's got to be this guy into this
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Unless they've
Which-
moved into shooting phase. But I don't
No,
think
that's what this
No.
is.
okay,
He
so
re-rolled it. He didn't get it. Doesn't get the
Failed.
6.
failed the 6. Yep.
He needs a 4. That's another
Another
flesh
flesh
wound.
wound, yeah.
Do you re-roll that?
Probably.
I know I said last round it's a 50-50 shot, so you don't. But when it's like this and you know that your opponent has recon sweep, I almost want to say you do just to be able to
Yep.
deny him.
Here
Yep,
we
okay,
go.
he's going for the reroll.
That's what we're seeing from Micro.
Gets
and he
it.
That's a
spikes
5,
it.
he's out. That is
And that's
going
probably
to
gonna be
deny
game.
Dangerfro recon
Yeah.
sweep this turn. That was a
mean-
huge play.
Yeah, this Sybarite could still advance and get in there, but then I was kind of thinking the Sybarite would go into that point, but
Well, Sybarite can't advance because he was falling back from.
oh, that's right. So he's just got a
So,
base normal
yeah.
move. Yeah.
He's just going to move over there.
Okay. So that's huge. So now Micro's got another second. I mean, not Micro. Danger has another secondary that he cannot max with the Drukhari here in game 1. Rough.
And he's flesh wounded. So right now with the nerve test, he's going to be down to a leadership 5 when he takes it. If Micro can kill anything else, that brings it down to 4. You're trying to break this guy. Danger doesn't have a reroll. He doesn't have any CP.
Yeah, he won't until the following round. So this will be the round to try to get those break tests in.
Yeah. So we're seeing
Force
an
those
order.
shakes.
That's going to be move onto the hot shot to get him in. I don't know why you would do that now.
Well, he wants to get hold more just in case this guy lives.
Yeah, but I just don't know why you wouldn't just normal move and still take shots.
Well, because I mean earlier, it was a mistake in hindsight to keep him there because he was obviously not going to get shots.
Yeah.
But when he did ready him up, he was a little worried about the Klaviex running by maybe and getting to the leader.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So the
so
Splinter
Rein
rifle
is-
will take shots unopposed into the Scion, and that's his last Scion.
Scion?
The Scion that just took orders and moved.
Oh, yeah. The Kabalite, yeah, sorry. I'm thinking Rein is shooting at the Sybarite.
Nope.
He
So Rein
actually
just whiffed.
completely whiffed. You don't see that too often. Hitting on, what was it, a 2? Did he just roll Snake Eyes?
Yeah, he rolled 1 and 1.
Yeah, because Rouse had line of sight.
And so he is going to Scarper to deny that. Oh, he doesn't quite make it, does he? No, I think
He could have.
move. Yeah, okay, so he's good.
Yeah, Micro could punt domination this round and then just get it next round.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, because he's still got 2 rounds left to try and max that. So he just gives it up this round and gets it next round. Could shuffle Gotfret back on. He's got a ability to charge this Kabalite perhaps, so he would be getting maybe a kill one and a hold one.
Rouse looks like he's going to shoot into the Kabalite on the central objective
Half
there.
range.
Yep, half range. Hits.
That's a hit.
Wins
He's on a
3.
3. Does not wound.
No wound. Now he'll Scarper. Oh, onto that
boy.
point all the way down there. So yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be another hold one, hold more. Is there going to be a kill one? I don't think so. Not on this one. Next round, though, that Klaviex is going to get into Rein.
So the Shredder for what's his name? For Dangerfro can shoot Rein right now. Oh, actually, no, it can't because it's outside of 12 inches.
Yeah, it's got a 12 inch.
Oh dear.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they're just finding out now. He's measuring for it, but he's not going to be happy about it.
Just the
that guy
Kabalite
could still shoot.
comms.
Yeah, comms is still going to get a shot. He's going to be at long range, ignoring long range, but that matters because it's a rapid fire weapon and he whiffs.
Whew.
Okay, so now we're seeing this Guardsman hero coming into that Kabalite. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Hey, that guy's been a beast.
Model to succeed so badly.
MVP plain Guardsman. That's going to be nothing. Looks like.
Yeah, he needed a 5.
Because
still 4 obscured.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's right. He needed 5.
Ooh.
So no kills. Just the 1 kill in Overwatch.
Well, we got the fight phase still, so.
Oh, that's right.
It's not over yet.
We got a flamer coming in.
Does not hit.
It's the most ones I've ever seen Micro roll.
Yeah, really.
And then we get the swing back from Danger. He's going to be hitting on 2s, actually.
Yeah, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4.
Yep. Not a bad
Could-
place to be.
yeah. Could do something. He's got to kill this guy, right? He's got to free up his Dark Lance.
Yep. Hits it.
Hits.
Looking for that 4. Coin flip. Nails it.
Ooh.
2 6s back to back. Looking for a 5 for Micro to save it. Does not get it. No rerolls. 4 up to kill.
No reroll, though.
Dice here.
He
Yeah, that's it.
dies.
That's big. Okay. He's going to get to pile in. Closest enemy, I think, is Gotfret.
Gotta be,
So,
right? Yeah.
So he could actually.
Do you want to go closer to Gotfret?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, next turn. We'll see some stuff. So that was big. So that's going to be a kill one. But still, so kill one. It's going to be a hold one for the Kabalite. Micro will not get. Oh, we're seeing a nerve test.
He's fine.
I don't know who it was for.
Must have been for the Sybarite.
Ah, yeah.
He
Okay.
needed a 6. 6
So
shake.
no domination for Micro this round.
No.
What's his name? Danger is going to get hold one, kill one. He did not get the max, so maxing is now impossible in the primary for Danger. And yeah, it's not looking amazing for. I think this one goes to Micro.
Yeah, I agree. It looks pretty rough. Darklance can't really. The way he moved right now, he's going to get charged by Gotfret, and the Darklance can't even see Gotfret, so that's not even like there's a chance at like a super lucky Overwatch kill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Micro loses initiative here. Danger is going to take that.
Yep. I wonder if we'll see a decisive get Gotfret onto that boy in the middle. I would want to charge Gotfret into that Kabalite. Actually,
if he does,
no, because you'd give up engage. But you'd get more points from doing that, I think. You'd get to kill one. Sorry.
Don't forget domination, too.
Yeah, so you
This
get kill
is
one,
round 4.
domination. Yep. I think that's what you do.
Yeah,
Decisive move.
I think it's better to
Oh,
go
he's
for
charging the Dark Lance? Interesting.
That way he can stay on that quarter of the board. He can lock up the biggest shooting threat.
Makes sense.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then depending on how the measurements shake out, there's a slight possibility that he'll be able to consolidate onto the middle objective.
Yep, because
of course that depends on where the comm spec lines up and where that Kabalite warrior on the center objective end up.
Yeah, because he could go an inch out from the sniper and be almost on the domination thing anyway, and then with the pile in, or the consolidate, after the kill,
exactly,
get on that point. So
Overwatch from the Sybarite, I believe. Gets the hit. Wow.
Gets hit. Wounding on 3,
Does not. Wounding on a 6. It's strength 1.
No way.
Yeah.
The Phantasm.
If you
the
get hit,
launcher.
Yeah, if you get hit by it, then it basically it reduces your leadership, I believe, for the round.
Yeah.
So Dark Lance, this could get a lucky thing. Okay, nope. Doesn't do it.
I didn't think the Dark Lance even had a shot, but I guess he did.
So let's see if he does what we're talking about.
No.
Ooh, I think he's going in there. Yeah,
Oh, he's going in deep. He's going deep.
He could get 2 high profiles right there.
That is true.
Yes.
Nasty.
Hasn't scored it at all this game.
Yeah.
No, and at this point, if I was Danger, I would probably just scoop, because you would need 4 points just to tie. Micro to score nothing that round to have 4 points to tie. I just don't think that's going to happen with 2 high-profile charges that just happened with Gotfret getting in on them.
Klaviex is charging the Hotshot Volley Gun and Rouse. Rouse is at the end of his days right now.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's a chart or an Overwatch for the Hotshot Volley Gun. It's a long bomb charge, though.
Yeah.
He
wants that. He wants that charge.
Yeah. He's not even a specialist. Oh, he is a specialist. He's a demo. That's right. Jeez,
yeah, that's why he wants it.
He should fall back with him, and then just to make it impossible, and then use get back in the fight or whatever that's called to let him shoot.
Right.
True.
That's like a 10 or 11 right there that he needs.
Yep. So they're just measuring this out.
So he's going to fall back with Rouse.
Yeah.
Maybe if he goes like that, he makes that charge on the hot shot a little bit harder.
Yeah. Maybe. What?
I don't know what this is.
What is happening? What?
He's like measuring it backwards. I don't know. I guess
Okay.
there's probably an easier way to do that, but
Yeah.
that's like a 7 or 8, I think, to get to. Yeah, probably maybe an 8 to get to Rouse there. He's re-rolling, so it's whatever. I mean, if he doesn't get a charge here, if he fails these charges, then it's definitely game.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Here we go. First charge. Holy
Oh,
shit.
Wow.
This is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
This is why you fall back with that hotshot volley gun, because why even give him the chance when you can fall back and still have the opportunity to shoot with an order?
Absolutely.
There was zero
Wow.
risk to doing that.
Yeah, because you could make him fall back and then give the get back in the fight order, right?
Yeah. Or you could
And then he
just,
would be
if you
able
don't
to
have a
shoot.
shot. Yeah, if you don't have a shot, you can still move back onto the point.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Anything would have been better than just standing there, I think, because who else are you going to use that order on?
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a Klaviex Zealot. It's going to be hitting on 2s onto a hot shot little guy. I don't think that's going to bode very well here. So we're going to see, it looks to me like, yeah, so Micro won't max domination here. I don't know that he needs to, but that's going away now.
Oh, is he?
I think the Sybarite should charge the
Is
sniper.
Rouse still 100% in that table quarter? Or is he just slightly over?
Yeah, I think he's over it. I don't think he's in the table corner completely.
That's not good. Because then he won't be able to get engaged,
Yeah.
even if Rouse survives.
Wouldn't that be crazy if we saw it go to a tie? It would go to
Well,
most
here's
max
the thing.
specialists or max secondaries, and nobody has one.
And then it would go to maxed primaries, which I think would
Benefit.
You go to Micro.
It could tie. It could tie if Micro doesn't hold anything.
Yeah.
That would be it, though.
Which could happen, right? Because we got to assume the kill on the Klaviex here. And then so the only other one is where Rein is, which is already contested. Sybarite could just get on him with a charge.
But, it all depends on Gotfret not killing anything.
Yeah.
True.
All right, so that guy will not be readied anymore. So what did that move accomplish, I wonder? What is he doing there? He's making it harder for this Guardsman to charge in, maybe? Boy, there are a lot of dead models. This board got thin.
Yeah, it did.
That's what I would do. Good move, Danger. Get in there with the Sybarite. Get him off that point, even if he falls back. Because even with a 3-inch pile-in and consolidate, I don't see Gotfret where he is now ending the move on that objective. So Micro's going to fall back.
Looks like he's going to fall back.
Yeah. So
he's going to get in.
Yeah, he's going to get in.
Maybe to make sure that if the Sybarite makes it on, he's not going to be on that objective.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thinking, I bet. So Micro's not going to hold any, but the way that it's going down here for Gotfret, that's 2 specialists. We've got to assume are going to get killed, or at least get to an injury roll. It's probably going to be 1, which would be a kill 1, a high profile, possibly a second high profile, even with no primaries. No other primaries, I should say, for holding. It's still like, some points happening down here.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Okay, so that's the roll. That's the 10. That'll definitely get in. He will give up that point to get in.
So let's look at the points here. Danger rather is not going to get recon sweep, so we can get that off the table.
Yeah.
He could max high profile right now. He could kill Rein and he could kill the demo. I mean, it requires a lot of coin flips to go his way, but it could happen. So that's 2 points there. Let's say and then he's getting kill once. That's a 3rd point.
And then
Goes
hold
to
1,
10.
hold more.
That would be 5. So it gets him to 12, which he would be in the lead there. But again, this is all dependent on if Micro doesn't kill or doesn't score anything. Because if Micro kills a Kabalite warrior, then it's over because he's getting a high profile and he's getting kill 1, which puts him 2 points up, which is out of reach then.
Yep. Agreed.
So
he's got 1 CP for a reroll, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if Micro is paying attention to the board state and the points, he should go into that fight phase over here, and he should put all of his attacks into one guy rather than splitting.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if he gets 2. He needs 1 to secure the win.
1. Yep. Just needs the 1. Although splitting could get you 2 injury rolls, whereas you would only have the 1 against 1 person no matter how many attacks you put into it.
Fair.
It's an interesting thing. We'll have to see what he does. I don't know what the call is there.
Yeah.
So he's going to advance, it looks like, and try and he's like desperate to get a point probably with that Guardsman.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get hold 1, right? That's another way to.
Yeah.
But he should be careful because I've played against Micro where he has forgotten about the 9-point cap, right?
Yes.
He can't get 3 points in the primary this round. He can only get 2, and I'll take him at a max 9.
Yep. He has 2 available primaries, nothing else other than his secondaries. So even if he got hold 1, kill 1, hold more, that would only be a 2 points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, can he get engaged on all fronts? Is it even possible? So he's got Gotfret here. He's got Rein there. He could move the Guardsman over here to secure that corner. Maybe the hotshot volley gun here lives, because at the end it could just be a coin flip from the Zealot.
Yeah.
He could march his leader down here maybe to get this quadrant.
True. Yeah, at this point, it's like, give that leader up. Get the points.
He already blundered a bit with Rouse, the way he fell back there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting that both of them have a reroll here, too. Potentially.
Yeah.
In Dangerfro's case, he's got lots of rerolls. Because we're in round 4 now, so he's going to be able to reroll all those nerf tests.
Oh, true. No, I was just talking about on that fight phase because, it's going to be really important to get these specialists out of action.
Absolutely.
Because he's in with a demo and a sniper. That's 2 potential points there. 3 if any of them die. Oh, so he's just moving onto that point to contest. All right.
Not sure why.
Yeah. I guess he's thinking that he's going to shoot these guys off. But here's the thing. I would almost want to run him away because if any of these Kabalites get a cheeky kill on him, that's a point right there.
Ooh, he's just moving the leader right out there. Okay, well, this potential 5-point stuff could be 6 points.
Yep, because if these Kabalite, like the Kabalite gunner here, he does have a shredder. Do you think he's within 12 of the leader right now?
I would say so.
Okay, move orders. So there we go. So he is going to be on a point.
Yeah, that Kabalite gunner is licking his chops right now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because that leader, I mean, he's going to get like 1 point, right?
Yeah.
for killing this leader. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
he's
point.
worth
It's
2
a point
points
he
to
was
him
gonna
right now.
get.
Yeah, because I mean, with that leader where he is now,
Yeah.
the Klaviex kills the Scion with the hot shot. That doesn't automatically now give the point to Danger.
Yeah.
So if the Kabalite gunner can
He's
shoot,
measuring
he
it
is
out now.
10.4. Yep. So he is within
Yeah.
range. It's not half range, but he is at least able to take the shot.
Yeah, D6 shots hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s. That's pretty good. At AP 1, is it?
Yep. That leader's gonna get to an injury roll probably. So this could swing. I was saying going into this that it might be time to scoop, but dude, the way that this round unfolded, this is still possible for Danger.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think it's unlikely, but it could
Yeah.
happen. It's there on the board now.
Because you can kill that leader. That's a point. That's kill 1. Demo dies. That's a point. You are taking domination. They're not going to get that. You've got another specialist here from Rein. That's a point. If you end up holding more, that's a 5th. And then you still have this regular Kabalite to take a cheeky shot on a 1 wound Rouse.
Yeah, looks like he's going to shoot now at the leader with the shredder.
Here we go. D6 shots. He gets 6. Wounding on 2s.
Oh my goodness.
Well, hitting on 4s first. He's still got to hit.
Oh yeah,
It's not
hitting on
auto
4s.
hitting.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I got so excited. All right, so here we go.
Shots on 4s.
Looking for 4s. Should be 3 on math. He gets.
He
He's
gets
got
5.
5. Wounding
on
on 2s. Good night.
That's a wound. Yeah,
That's
5 wounds.
roll.
Well,
Injury roll.
it's going to be an injury roll, but technically 5 6-ups is it's possible. Nope. Not even
it's
for
more
micro.
possible if you're micro, but yeah. So here we go. 4, 5, 6 to kill. He's got a CP in the bank. He nails it.
Leader.
God, talk about needless. I don't know.
That's
just
2 points right
no, it's
there.
only 1. It's only 1.
No, because it's a kill 1 and it's kill the leader.
Yeah. 2 total. 1 for the secondary.
Yes. So 8 to 11. Here we go. So what is that? Is that a fire and fade? I hope not, because he should have saved that for a reroll. That does nothing for him.
Gets him on the point.
Yeah.
I would not have done that. You still got to kill Rein. That's your win condition right now. Kill specialists. Hold more. I don't know. I guess he is doing that win condition with the moving him on there. Okay.
So 5 dead models for micro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the board. Did he only have 10 models?
He had 3 hot shots. One of which is on combat there. He had the Chainsword gun. Oh, hold on. I don't know what
This is combat, I think. Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know what this is. We need some pings here.
Yeah.
I don't know why that Kabalite just fired 3 shots.
Shooting. The Splinter rifle. Yeah, I don't
He
know.
whiffed. Seems like it.
Okay. I don't know what he was shooting at. I guess Rouse.
He looks like Rouse.
Okay.
All right, fight phase.
Fight phase. Here we go.
Now we're Danger really needs the coin flips.
Yeah. Should have saved that CP. I think.
That's a lot of hits.
A lot of hits. That's all the hits.
If this isn't a 6, then this is
slow rolling this.
Yep. So it goes right through. So that's the injury roll.
Yeah.
So it's only 1 damage. He needs the coin flip here.
4, 5, 6.
If he doesn't get it, then that's I guess he it's a little more flexible here because
he really needs this guy done. Nope.
Just a flesh wound.
Damn.
So that might not be game, right? Because well, actually I think it is probably going to be game.
Yeah, Gotfret could whiff, but yeah. We'll see what happens there. He still has a chance to make a point over here with killing Rein.
Yeah, he has a little bit more flexibility because he got that cut off the head
Yep.
that Micro so generously offered up.
Force
But
fed him.
that makes that potential 5 into a 4. I really wish he wouldn't have done that move here and saved that for a reroll here. I have to see what his next die is because I'm waiting to know if that could have been converted to an out of action on the demo. So he is going to split, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, when you're getting extra attacks on 6s with that model, why not?
How's he splitting these? I think he's probably telling us right now. Okay, never mind. He's not telling us. Wounds on a
So,
3. Only needs 1.
hit.
He
Gets
gets it.
AP
This is a
3,
feel no
save.
pain.
Yeah.
6
go.
up, feel no pain.
This is really important.
Doesn't get it. 4
Out of
up.
action.
He has a reroll too, and he doesn't need
He gets
it.
it. That's game.
So that's
Alright.
that's a specialist.
Remaining
So
3
round-
attacks.
Yeah. Round 1's going to go to Micro. All right. So 3 remaining.
3
It's
hits.
2 or 3. Yep, 3.
1 wound
1
though.
wound.
Okay. Well, he just
6 up,
needs
feel no
1.
pain.
Yeah.
Well, multiple wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah.
4 up. Doesn't get
The
it.
2,
He's gonna reroll it.
spending the CP reroll.
Yep.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
Gets it.
Gets it.
Got it.
GG.
That's
GG.
GG.
Congrats to Micro on the first one.
Now he's not going to have enough to get onto that point, but
Nope.
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Yeah, does not matter.
So it's going to be 2 high profiles,
Wow.
and he's going to take a hold 1. So it's going to, I think, be 14 for Micro and to end this one.
I think he's going to get engaged too in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I guess it's supposed. This guy could fail a nerve.
2, 3.
Yeah, the hot shot volley gun could fail a nerve test.
Yeah, he certainly can. He doesn't have the CP left, so.
So here we go. We have the Agonizer going in.
Wounds on 4s against
Yeah.
Rein. We love
So
those
1
poison
wound.
weapons.
AP2 on Rein.
No save.
Yeah, so that just punches through,
Save.
right?
Through 4, 5,
Kills him.
6 to kill. Gets him. That's a specialist. It's another 0.4 danger. Damn. Yeah, I think that Fire and Fade was not the move to make here. I think you wanted to reroll and make sure that all the specialists went out that you could. So 913 is going to be nope, because we still have to count up the primaries here.
Yep.
So Micro will get hold 1 unless he's at a break test.
I believe he is at a break test. He needs a 9 to break, but it is possible.
Because if Rouse shakes, then that's not a hold 1.
He does not. Well, okay, danger doesn't break. I think he was rolling his.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to see what Micro gets.
I don't even think it matters.
Yeah.
Micro does break.
So Rouse is LD6 base. He needs a 1 to pass.
I think all these guys need a 1 other than Gotfret, maybe.
Yeah, because Gotfret's LD8 minus
Goes down to 2.
5, 4, 3, 2. Yep.
I mean, I guess you would probably do Gotfret first, right?
Nope, didn't do it. So now Gotfret's even going to be at a 1.
Yeah, why would you not do Gotfret first? I don't think it matters. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
Shakes.
I think it's too much, right?
So that's going to give them more to danger.
Okay.
So it takes them to 10, 11, 12. And Micro still got a kill, so.
Yep.
That is
Closer
game
than
1.
I thought. Yep. GG. Now imagine if that was 1 point down and 1 point up from that pile-in shenanigans we were talking about earlier. We had a tie game to end it
And
out.
then it would
13,
go down
13.
to maxed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Dudes,
they're
you
gonna-
could just reload the board if you want. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm back in here. What do you mean reload the board? Oh, just go to games and
Yeah.
What did you think of that, dudes?
I mean, quite a game, quite a game. I got some questions lined up for you guys. If any of you need to take a bathroom break, go ahead and do it real quick. We're going to give the players a 5-minute here, and then we will, once they're back from their bathroom break, we will reveal what the second board will be, and they will have their time to muster. So I am going to go here. We're going to reload this Ibericon board.
Yeah.
All right. There we
Hell of a
go.
game.
Yeah, crazy
Wow.
game. Quite the finish. I mean, in the very end, right? The math was there for Dangerfro, right?
Yeah.
So I
No,
mean,
because I was saying I think I would have scooped, but he
yeah.
continued on and actually got himself into a decent position.
Yeah, which just goes to, show it's like, some of these games you never know, right? Like, I mean, I have been told, and it is true that sometimes I give up too quickly when I have a bad, first few rounds. It does happen that these comebacks go through, especially when you're working with the teams that they're working with, right? And you have so many options, like the shoot, scoot, and boogie. By the way, trademarking that. We need to make a shirt, Beernid. So shoot, scoot, and boogie. And then you've got, the specialists that you have the orders that you can give, and then as Dangerfro, as the Drukhari, you have all these, layers that they need to get through to
Your
kill
sub
you.
faction
Yeah,
every round.
exactly, all that stuff. So there's so many things to consider like that. Um, so we're gonna
Yep.
let these guys kind of get their stuff figured out. Um, so all right, so let's go back here really quick. Let's just discuss what was going on in that first round. You look at the deep strike, right? I think there was some potential with the mandrakes coming in. There was a point where I believe, mind you, he would have taken shots from a hotshot lasgun, but I think all his guys took shots from the hotshot lasgun anyway. I think it might have been more prudent to put a mandrake here, have him be obscured. You could have even moved him a little bit back so he's obscured and still on the objective. You also, at that point, kind of push Rouse a little bit farther back so he can't scamper onto that point. Not that he did anyway. And you also give yourself shots on the leader if he survives that hotshot volley gun, which this model did earlier in the round, right? I don't know if you guys saw that or were thinking about that. That was just on my mind. When you take cut off the head, I feel like at least from the moment go, you need to be thinking about killing that leader. Any thoughts on that,
Yeah.
Shane?
Yeah, I mean, it's cut off the head. It's a difficult one. I was talking about it in the pregame. It's hard on that deployment because first of all, Micro's going to screen you out, which he did, and then even so, there's so many models in between where danger is and where the leader is that he had to really fight his way there, and he wasn't ever able to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough ask. But I mean, we were talking about how he could have kept that leader hidden the whole game, and he really didn't, right? There was the potential for some shots on it in different situations, had movements gone a little bit differently. One of the other big things I noticed round one was that reroll of a wound by Dangerfro instead of saving for the fire and fade, which you guys talked about as well, where the fire and fade would have given him a primary objective, which is a guaranteed kind of point, taking away that hold more from Micro. Whereas re-rolling the wound, it takes you potentially to an out of action roll, but that's a 50-50. Whereas you could have had those guaranteed points. Any thoughts on that, Beernid?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I like. There's been a few of that throughout the last round. That was like the misallocations. I don't know if you remember or if you heard that I was talking about that at the end. That it's like, okay, you got all these specialists and it's clutch, and that's like what wins you the game. And then it's like, okay, you're gonna fire and fade over. So it was like we kind of saw a fire and fade in the wrong time, and then didn't see it in a time where it would have been really good too. I think.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but maybe they had it worked out different. It's different to be here in like God mode with the, we're seeing the board from the top. Like, are they zoomed in super far and forgetting like that guy way over to the side or
Yeah.
something like that? It's just a weird place to be in.
For sure. All right. One more quick topic to touch on is over here the combat that was going on between Gotfret and the Sybarite. Lots of talk. You guys talked about it with the chat. You guys talked about it amongst yourselves. This was like kind of a big blunder, right? And I mean, in the end, it didn't end up mattering. There was enough of a point spread that 1 point shift wouldn't have changed anything, or actually, would it have made it instead of 14-12? It would have made it 13-13. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a tie and then went to
Yeah.
tiebreaker. I think
So
Micro still would have taken it because he had more maxed.
Yeah, so you have to take that into consideration. That's one of those, I think we talked about it beforehand that these, and you mentioned Beernit about how this is your moment, Dangerfro. Like you gotta make the moves that show that you deserve to be up here, right? And whoever wins this is going to qualify for the Zenith tournament coming up, which we can
Yeah.
talk about more later. But that's a big thing, both of them forgetting that. Micro plays a lot of his berserkers and things like that. Maybe he's been playing the Astra Militarum a little bit too long, so he doesn't remember all of his, combat prowess that he had with those berserkers. But it seemed really bizarre that he missed it, and then even Dangerfro, just like he thought enough to move to get rid of the intervening terrain, but he didn't think
Yeah.
enough to move onto the objective. Ryan, how are you feeling, I guess, at that moment, like watching that, like looking back at it?
I'm sorry. Looking back on the what?
The combat here between Gotfret and the Sybarite, where neither of them made the proper moves to either for Micro to lock up the Sybarite or for
Yeah.
Danger to move onto the objective, because that point would have brought them to a tiebreaker. Actually, looking at it now in the final point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say it was a bigger misplay from Micro. We don't really expect him to make mistakes like that, which I guess like we would consider to be fundamental for him because of the high value or the high level that we constantly see him play at. And he's been playing with things like Corn Berserkers for so long. It's like I know he has melee in Kill Team down. I know he has it down. I think it was just a lapse of judgment from him. And then with Dangerfro, I don't think it was a lapse of judgment. I think he was just more focused on trying to get damage on Gotfret at the time, just by trying to move it around the barricade.
For sure. For sure. It happens. I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, we all know, right? We've played in in-person tournaments too, and here on TTS. We have a lot of experience here in this channel right now talking about these games. I personally, find that my board, my feel for the board is a little bit less here in Tabletop Simulator. You take into the fact that you've been playing on this board so much, you've been doing so much prep, you've been playing so many games. Now you're coming into what's going to be a best of 3. You've got so many models on the board for both of these guys, and sometimes those little things just get missed, right? But those can be the difference. They talk about, it's a game of inches or it's a game of, all these kinds of things, and that's one of those potential inch moments that could have really changed things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
and Micro, we know that he knows all this stuff. It was just like I don't know how to. There's something about, I think, almost when it comes time to play a finals, like the pressure does something sometimes. Like I just played one today and I was making some stupid bonehead moves, and so like missing a pile in or something like that is I guess acceptable, I would say. Like more so on a top table game, even though it sounds like opposite, right? You'd think like, okay, here's these players, they've beaten out all these players, it should be the height of the height. But sometimes it's like, man, you got all these people watching, you're looking at 3 games going on, you're not as prepped as you had been for the other games because they just like were like, here's the map, go. So it's like, I don't know, it's a different thing, I guess. Maybe that's why we didn't see Micro do it.
For sure.
I was going to say, I just want to chime in.
Yeah.
I guess it is weird to me because I mean I can't. When I played in the Bats finals, I myself made a couple positional blunders, like not moving a guy down a certain hallway. But I think there's a difference between making a positional blunder, like in hindsight, it's like, oh, I probably should have moved this guy here, and like something like that where it's like you just forget to do something, like just straight up forgetting to consolidate onto an objective. I don't know.
That's like
it's just weird.
Repetitive fundamentals, right?
Yeah, like it's something I wouldn't expect either player to do, and it's just a weird thing to notice and look back on, I guess.